March, with the national rate remaining at 6.7%. About 14,000 jobs were added across Canada, marking a modest recovery from earlier losses. Regina and Saskatoon both saw declines in their jobless rate. Analysts say the numbers are in line with expectations, but note recent months have seen some volatility. The report is the final labor market update before the Bank of Canada makes its next interest rate decision. The University of Regina has released a new strategic plan designed to guide its growth through 2035. The plan focuses on becoming more research-intensive, expanding hands-on learning, and building stronger community connections. It also includes commitment to reconciliation and supporting Indigenous students. Leaders say the strategy builds on existing strengths while preparing for future changes, including advances in technology. At the same time, the university faces challenges such as funding pressures and shifting student numbers. Officials say having a clear plan will help the institution stay focused and continue to support students and the province. The province's first Crown oil and gas land sale of the fiscal year has generated just under $12.9 million. Companies bid on 87 parcels across the Estevan, Lloydminster, Kindersley, and Swift Current regions. Estevan led all areas in revenue, followed by Lloydminster. The highest bid was near Kindersley. Saskatchewan says land sale activity varies depending on oil prices, land availability, and other market conditions. Leases and licenses allow companies to explore and produce oil or gas. That's 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sastoday.ca and 620ckrm.com.
620 CKRM on location.
All right, Saskatchewan, get on board. Here we go. It's crunch time. We've got until 7 o'clock tonight to include you in a great lottery where you can give back and have a chance to win big money. $100,000 up for grabs. 7 o'clock deadline tonight. Give us about 90 seconds of your time. We'll process the ticket, get a receipt in the mail. You'll be in for each and every draw coming up tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. And it's all cash draws, nothing else, just cash. Cash is king. $100,000 could be yours. We got all those subsidiary draws, all of it for cash. We've got those 5 draws for $1,000. 4 more draws for $2,500 a piece, and a couple of draws for $5,000 each. And then we'll make the draw for the 50-50. Winner share is half. To this point, we've sold $90,000, and we'd love to include you in this. $25 each, 10 for 50, 100 for $100. Visa, MasterCard, 1-844-726-2026. 1-844-726-2026.
Weather for B&A Petroleum and Swift Current, with multiple locations serving southern Saskatchewan for over 30 years. See B&A Petroleum for all your fuel and propane needs. Tonight, partly cloudy sky and a low of 0. Tomorrow, looking partly sunny and a high up to 15. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, maybe a risk of a shower late in the area, and a low down to 4. Mainly cloudy on Sunday, some spotty showers in the area, and a high of 7 degrees. Monday, mix of sun and cloud, and a high of 8. Tuesday, partly sunny, and a high of 12. Currently in downtown Regina, sunny sky, and it is 9 degrees.
B&A Petroleum is a southern Saskatchewan family-owned business that's there for you. They've been supporting their clients for over 30 years with locations in several communities throughout the southern part of the province. B&A Petroleum is available for all your bulk fuel and lubricant needs, with propane at selected locations Monday to Friday. And don't forget, their Cardlock location is accessible 24 hours for your convenience. B&A Petroleum. Fuel you once, fuel you forever.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sportscage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Nielsen Homes, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sportscage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
It is Friday. Almost made it through the week. Some of you probably have already. It is Friday edition of the Sports Cage. Thank you for making time, however you are watching or listening to the program. You can watch it on YouTube through sportscage.com. We also on all the audio streams, and of course 620 CKRM. Colson is with me today on this Friday, and it's him and I, but we will be joined by guests on the Western Pizza guest hotline. It's Friday. I know barbecue looks about good right now, but if you maybe you don't have propane, that's always the worst when you go barbecue and you don't have any propane. So then pick up special or maybe grab some of the Greek favorites from Western Pizza. Joining us on the Western Pizza guest hotline over the next 3 hours, Farhan Lalji is going to join us. I'm really curious. I saw Farhan and a clip about youth sports and the costs of youth sports. So I want to get into that with Farhan here in hour one. We're going to hear from Dave Thomas, who caught up with the head coach of the University of Saskatchewan Huskies on Anton Ammanrud and the quarterback who is going to try to be back for the U Sports season this year. Great news. Of course, he had lymphoma, and late last season, that was just pulled at the feels hard on that story. So we'll hear from that. Hour two, Eric Francis, off of the rails Friday with Francis, as we've labeled it. We get what Eric wants to talk about. I got a couple of questions since the NHL and the playoffs are like right around the corner, and you look at the standings and it's like, oof, what is going to happen? Did anyone catch? I only caught the highlights of Minnesota and Dallas last night. Of course, I don't even know what the total penalty minutes in that game was, but it was old school high. And they got to play each other in the first round.
It'll be a fight again, that's for sure.
Fights.
Yeah.
Plural, for sure. Well, it's the playoffs. You never know. But Eric will be in hour two. Also in hour two, Jeff Hayes. He is the guy behind the mic when it comes to anything Blades at SaskTel Center. He's been doing it for a long time. He's been through some really lean years with the Saskatoon Blades. Great guy. We'll have some fun with Jeff Hayes because tonight it starts. Prince Albert Raiders, Saskatoon Blades. I wore my Raiders hat yesterday. Today, I'm wearing my hometown team. They were nice enough. Danny De Silva, Steve Hildebrand sent me a couple of lids. So there's I'm going Saskatoon Blades hat today. We'll talk to Jeff Hayes in hour two. Hour three, probably going to have to take the chapeau off because we're going to be joined by play-by-play voice of the Prince Albert Raiders, Nick Nielsen, as he gets set to call game one in what will be an absolutely jam-packed Art Hauser Center up in PA. And you can't spell paradise without PA. Yeah, I get some predictions on that series too. I don't know the teams well enough. They did have a lot of fights. It's one thing I want to ask Nick is does he have a total on how many fisticuffs there were? I think Cole said you were going to pull up that one for a little bit later, and then, it was old school hockey. So yeah, and we'll have some fun. We want you to participate. Send in your chirps, comments, whatever you got. Prairie Land Rentals, 600 Albert Street here in Regina. They can almost rent you anything. If you're doing that spring job, getting ready for that spring job, the text line is 936-6262. Like James is already texted in, even pre-show. And is he chirping me here? He's saying Masters weekend, McElroy and Reed atop. I guess DeChambeau is no laundry guy. He just tosses the entire get up the next day. Everything is brand new. Everything. But the Masters, and as we go into the weekend, if you've been listening this week, for some reason, I have Patrick Reed. I took him last week down in Las Vegas, and I got Justin Rose. And they are, as Patrick Reed just snap hooks one left. He's in trouble. He's going to be taking some penalty strokes here. But they're both in the hunt. Going into Saturday and then really Sunday is when the magic happens and everyone just sits on their couch. Or I noticed my daughter has a hockey game right smack dab in the afternoon Sunday. I'm like, perfect. Great timing. Jason Day is sitting at -5. If you haven't watched any of the golf today, maybe you're driving, watch the highlights later on Jason Day's combo. It is, it's got to be the worst one so far. I haven't seen everybody. He's wearing a baby blue slack and a yellow, what kind of yellow would you call that? Yellow t-shirt and visor. The visor is a throwback. I don't mind.
It's like powdered baby blue, but yellow. It's kind of the color.
But the shirt is like a light yellow.
Yeah. It's like that. It's the same like tone as baby blue, but yellow.
It seems like one of those things when you go shopping in a mall and you go by a mannequin or you go by a store and be like, that looks good. That looks good. I'm gonna try that on. I'm gonna buy that. And then you get it home and you put it on, like my frame. I don't know how many times I've been stuck buying, something built for a pre-taught Swedish boy, and I'm like, I'm built like a stocky Ukrainian. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It'd be like you wearing something that I wear, Colson, and then vice versa. Like what size t-shirt do you wear?
I'm a medium, technically, but usually I get larges because they shrink in the wash and then they fit, right? So call me a medium.
Exactly. Yeah. Like there's no possible way I'm getting into a medium t-shirt. A large, I look like a sausage in a large. Lounge, what size t-shirt do you wear?
Double XL, baby. Oh,
yeah. See,
Scandinavian.
I'm closer to the lounge than I am anything else. But yeah, Jason Day's garb, clothing today, I don't know. Scott, where's Scotty Scheffler on the leaderboard? That's the thing, because Rory McIlroy, as James said, I didn't think, and it was yesterday. Who had the comment? Somebody that's some prominent golfer. Oh, Fred Couples. Fred Couples says, I don't know if Rory McIlroy is ever going to lose this tournament again after winning. So Fred Couples said, I was like, played along, got to see him yesterday. Where is Mr. Scheffler? Scotty, there, +2 today he finished. He is even for the tournament. And I was watching it this morning, and I'm like, man, I don't like Scotty Scheffler. He's never done anything. He seems like an absolute gem of a guy. Nice family man. Good with his kids and all that. He's just so bloody boring. And he was the favorite. There were a lot of people that would have taken Scotty Scheffler over the field. So you know what I mean there? Like the field, you get everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, you're basically betting that Scheffler is going to win compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So here's the debate I heard on the Patrick show. Here's a question for you. You're an NBA guy.
Mm-hmm.
Would you take, and I know you don't gamble, I know you don't sprinkle, but for me, let's say it's for Barney. Should I take the field or OKC?
That is a good question. You'd be really tempted to take OKC just because they're the defending champions and they haven't really slowed down at all.
And the path they got?
Yeah. But they have shown some struggles this year. There are a couple teams who have been very intentionally trying to beat OKC, the Spurs, with Wembanyama come to mind, where I think they almost swept them this year. I think OKC finally got one on them. So there's a few teams out there that are like, we know OKC is number one, and we're playing to beat them, forget everybody else. So
I should take, I'm a better bet there taking OKC?
Probably. Just let me look up NBA playoffs right now because I.
OKC or the field. Not that I would play this bet, but yeah, Scotty Scheffler or the field when it comes to golf. Maybe that those Tiger years where he nobody was losing.
The Spurs aren't actually in the playoffs, so yeah, I'd probably take the Thunder there.
What about Detroit?
Detroit's number one in the other division, the East. So, but they're still 6 games behind the Thunder. The Thunder have been kind of number one for the whole year. Actually, the Spurs are in the playoffs. They're number 2. I completely whiffed on them there.
Rory McIlroy is your out leader, 7 under right now, followed by Patrick Reed and then Jason Day, Justin Rose, and Sam Burns. I have Justin Rose. I'm and he's just such a good guy to root for, I think. Justin Rose. I talked to a few guys today, and there were guys, and it's like, I don't want to, I'm binging. I'm not going to work. I'm sitting and watching the Masters, laying and watching the Masters all day. So I can't do anything. One guy's like, you want to go for lunch? No. I'm watching the Masters all day. Those were the days. Those were back in the day kind of things. Nick Taylor. He was -2. He is. He's -2, the Canadian. Nick Taylor is the top Canadian, sitting at -2. He is on the 17th hole currently. So he's going to make the cut. What the cut will be, I am not sure. There's some disappointing scores, though.
What's the name of that Finnish guy you took again, or is he already out?
Oh, yeah. Välimäki. He's on his way back to Helsinki.
He is +11 right now.
Yeah, he's no good. Mike Weir's +10. Because, of course, when you used to win it. Robert McIntyre was the one. He's -1 today, +7. He was one of the favorites going in. Talk about disappointment for the Scot there. So, yeah, it could be a fun weekend with my Patrick Reed. And not that I want to really root for Patrick Reed because everybody hates him. He's got the you want to punch in the face.
Eric said he was refunding you your money if you were in a pool with him.
Yeah, well, we get to talk to Eric in an hour, right? Less than an hour. Let's see what he's one of the guys. He's one of the guys that he hasn't done anything today. I think all he has done is watch golf all day.
That sounds like Eric.
Oh, Tommy Fleetwood's going beige on beige kind of. Oh, man. Who's dressing these guys?
Themselves?
Look good, play good. What happened to that whole thing? As long as it's not the loudmouth pants. Those things are a thing of beauty. Speaking of golf, if you didn't listen to the show yesterday when we launched this, the Classic Landscape Company and the Sportscage giving away a backyard putting green. It's not some makeshift box with that old carpet that people have on their decks of their trailers. No, this is a real backyard putting green. We're giving it away May 1st. How do you get in on this? Your chances are better every day that you text in. You get one text a day, 936-6262. The catch is it's one word. And today's keyword is green. Green. Don't put anything else. Don't put, I want to win it. I want to, just green. 936-6262. You'll get prompted that you're entered if you did it right. If you don't do it right, we got to have a deeper talk. Because all you want to do is text in green, and you're in to win. Putting green backyard installed. The Classic Landscape Company, the official landscape company of the Sportscage. What a prize. What a prize to win. Thanks to them. And again, we'll be plugging that throughout the show here today. Get in on it and enter to win. NHL last night. Let me know when we need to go to break here, Colson. I'm paying attention. I didn't watch much for NHL last night. But then I get up today and I'm scrolling through things and I'm like, okay, well, How's everything going? We have some teams. First off, did you catch this last night? Cole Caulfield is the first Montreal Canadian since Stéphane Richer in 1990 to score 50 goals in a season.
Yep. That was going to be my clutch performer. Thanks.
Because next hour, people, different audience. I was like, since 1990, Stéphane Richer. He was a big rig. Good shot. Matthew Schaefer from the New York Islanders tied Brian Leach's record, 23 in 1989, for most goals by a rookie defenseman.
And we still have, 2-3 games left in the season?
How many games do they have left? The Islanders need to win, too. The Islanders they're in trouble. New coach. And then we'll hear from him later in hour 2. The Penguins, Sidney Crosby, the Penguins clinched a playoff spot. That's hard to believe.
And their next game against the Capitals is game 100 of Crosby versus Ovechkin.
Really?
Playoffs and regular season.
Oh, yeah, it says here right there. How interesting is that? So with them clinching the playoff spot, Sidney Crosby has a chance to pick up 1 point to pass Jaromir Jagr, former Penguin, for 5th all-time in playoff scoring. You got to think Sid's getting at least 1 point in the postseason. But you look at the teams, Coulson, and everybody out there that have the X beside their names now, that are in the playoffs. Teams that have qualified for postseason hockey. No one come at me and say you expected Buffalo to have 106 points and be pushing for the league lead, but they're playing postseason puck. The Montreal Canadiens, which I am kind of becoming a little bit of a Montreal Canadian fan here. John the Habs fan, if you're listening. Don Hewitt, if you're listening. Okay. Pittsburgh Penguins, didn't think they were going to make it. And then on the West, the Utah Mammoth have qualified for the postseason. That's awesome to see. That Phoenix Coyote team, they had a lot of draft picks for a lot of years. So it's just wild what's going on in the NHL. Ryan texting in. Jump on the Habs bandwagon. Let's go. I didn't know he was a Habs fan. Still more, we'll talk some NHL with Farhan as well here after the break. We'll keep it going, but we'll go to break, and when we come back, it will be from TSN, Farhan Lalji. It's a Sportscage. We're streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com on 620 CKRM.
620 CKRM on location.
And a good afternoon. We're going to get you back into more cage action. Let's get you into the wheelhouse here with the Broncos cash lottery and a chance to win big bucks, $100,000. Nice little payout for a $100 ticket. Think of it as an investment. You're investing back into the future of our Saskatchewan youth, getting a chance to extend their hockey careers with the Humboldt Broncos. And we talked about it yesterday. The cost of everything is just astronomical. You're looking at building, you're looking at travel costs, you're looking at supplies. It is an expensive endeavor, so that's going to help out with this, and we're going to give you a shot at $100,000. Draw coming up tomorrow afternoon at 2, deadline tonight at 7. So you want to get in on this sooner than later because everything sort of bottlenecks the later we get into the evening, and then, of course, everybody's calling at the same time. So save that stress. Get in now. Guarantee yourself a ticket. $100 will get you in for $100,000. We can do better. 5 for $250. That's the way to roll. And ask about that 50-50. Those are $25 each. 10 for $50 or $100 for $100. 1-844-726-2026. 1-844-726-2026.
Winter in Saskatchewan tests everything, our patience, vehicles, and sometimes our bumpers. From icy parking lot dings to serious highway mishaps, choosing local matters. At Regina Motor Products Collision Center, we're Saskatchewan owned, run, and we drive these roads too. An SGI accredited full-service collision center working on all makes and models. Submit your SGI claim and book your appraisal. It's easy. When you need repairs you can trust, it's neighbors helping neighbors. Regina Motor Products Collision Center, south at Highways 1 and 6 Albert Street, rmpchevrolet.com.
You cut the grass, we'll cut the deal at Brant Agriculture. Get 0% financing for 84 months, plus cash rebates and bonuses on select John Deere turf equipment. Save on compact utility tractors, riding lawnmowers, and utility vehicles. Get it from people who get it. Offer ends April 30th, 2026. Some restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
Since 1949, Nielsen Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nielsen Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality. In the Strasbourg, Last Mountain Lake area, call Dean at Solid Works Carpentry or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nielsen Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
Getting in on more of the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
It's time to get the inside story. TSN's Farhan Lalji on Sportscage is brought to you by the Cooperators. Time to get financially fit? Cooperators can build a plan that works for you. Cooperators, investing in your future together.
Okay, there he is from TSN, Farhan Lalji. Do you want to chirp me? Do you want to take some shots? I was in Vegas for 9.5 days, working.
Wow.
And then a few with family. So
you were working. What were you doing for 9.5 days working?
Well,
you must have some sponsors you need to take care of.
Working was 5 days. We take care of our clients here at Harvard Broadcasting.
Good.
Did some golf.
Take me with you next time.
How to do golf?
Yeah, well, not well, but I do golf on occasion.
Yeah, and I actually don't feel that bad because I was kind of sick the first day and a half. But yeah, man, that's a stretch. You go anywhere for that many days, and you're scared to look at your credit card statement.
So true. Don't they give you a company card, like a gold card?
Hell no. I tried to go to PA tonight, and they said, "See how much you can get for the cans in the coffee room." And I was like, with gas the way it is. How much is gas out there on the West Coast, actually, a liter?
Oh, I think I saw today, $2.17.
$2.17.
Yeah.
And we're $1.75. So that's not good.
Cha-ching.
Do you watch the Masters?
No. I used to. I used to cover it. I mean, I've covered it before. I used to do golf. Now I spend very little time on the Masters. We got such a good crew there. It is a great gig. I'd love to one day get back to it, but I think I've had such a golf gap in my life in the last decade that it would take me a while to prep and study and get into it where I could talk with any kind of authority on it.
Your days covering it, though. What's your favorite memory? What's your favorite story from covering it?
You know, I only did one, and it was Tiger's second victory. But just, when you go to a place that you've watched so many times, you kind of worry about being disappointed. And it absolutely lived up to it, right? Especially Amen Corner and some of the views, just a spectacular setting. And, you can also tell just the tradition of it in terms of how different it is than any other tournament because there's fewer spectators. It's less of, you don't get inundated with advertising and things like that. It's just a different look altogether and feel. I mean, compared to a U.S. Open or a PGA Championship, it's an entirely different vibe.
The one thing that I've noticed, and it's thanks to TV, and it's like watching football now or any sport on TV. There's more cameras. The TVs are better. We're 4K, 5K, whatever it is. However many K, and just the high def. You go back to those old clips that Colson was just playing on Tiger, and then you look now, like there's never been a better glimpse of how tough this golf course looks. The greens, the hills, where they have to play shots. Because back in the day, Farhan, like when I'd be watching it and be like, well, how is this a tough putt?
Yeah.
But now it's
right.
like I joked the other day, it's like some of the greens looks like there's an elephant buried in the middle of the green.
Yeah, and for me, like the time I was there was before they actually expanded the course a little bit, right? I remember a few cynics talking about how they were tiger-proofing Augusta. But you're right, like just the ability to just see that detail now, it's different. There's no doubt. And the way that tournament works in terms of its rights, right? I mean, some people may know this, but there's 4 sponsors, and basically CBS and ESPN. They don't pay a rights fee. They send a bill for the production costs, and Augusta takes that money and basically sends it to those 4 sponsors, and they pay $5 million each. And Augusta completely gets to control all of it. And the fact that there is less commercial time means there's more opportunity to use technology that you get in the broadcast. And I know they've been taking some criticism this year with, Kevin Hart and Travis Kelce and others have kind of been on course, and you've seen all of that. And fans and purists have said, we don't need that in our coverage. You might need Taylor Swift in an NFL game to bring a wider audience, but we don't need that when we watch the Masters. So it's different.
Do you have a favorite hole?
Probably 16.
Yeah. 16's good times, and it's just, I think 18 is too, just that shoot and how it looks and comes out.
Yeah.
No, it's something else. What are you working on football wise right now? Because you got both drafts coming up.
Yeah, you know what? Today's CFL day, and I'm just getting to talk to all and GMs and executives from every team just to kind of get. We do some graphics and we have some projected starters and just kind of go through every team's needs. And every team will always tell you that we need another lineman, or we want to improve our special teams depth, or what have you. But there are some different needs for different teams. So just getting a chance to go through that, and this whole process really kind of gets me geared up for the season, right? Like you kind of, I don't want to say you ever tune out the CFL, because I don't, but just the minutia on day-to-day team rosters and needs. You go through it at free agency, and then you attack it differently now when it comes to the Canadians. So it's a good launch into the season for me, with training camps just a month away now.
What was I gonna? Fernando Mendoza, I heard that he plans not to go to the draft because his mom, I think there's a traveling issue there. Is that a big deal for the NFL, having probably your first overall pick not there, or what's your take on that?
No, I mean, I think with her health condition and what everybody has seen during the course of this final year and their run to Indiana's national title, I think everybody understands what she's dealing with and the challenges that would come from her going there. So I'm sure there's going to be cameras at the draft party at the Mendoza home, and Fernando is where he should be, right? Dad is where he should be, sitting next to her, not standing and cheering, but just, making sure he's there at the same spot with his wife, like he was during the championship game and during all the playoffs and everything like that. So, it's a heartwarming story in its own way, and that's the best way for them to tell it. So I don't think this hurts the NFL at all that the first guy's not there, because many guys are going to be.
Yeah. Earlier this week, talking to Luke Mullender, and we're just kind of, because right now it's kind of like that lull, and you're getting ready for the draft, and it's like, what's going on? The one thing is Jack Cohn here in Saskatchewan, number 2 quarterback. Looks like they're going to give him the reins, and he's going to go. I personally think, and I always think this, it's like the coaches know more than us, the casual fans, and the fans is like, well, he's not ready. How do we know if he's not ready? We don't see him practice day in, day out. What's your take on that, and Cohn probably being ready to be a 2, and he's going to have to play?
Yeah, here's the one thing with pro football. You never know till the guy steps on the field between the lines with, everything going full speed, with no mulligans, with the crowd full and the crowd noise. You just don't know. So you take a bit of a leap based on the players' preparation and what you've seen from them in practice, right? And you know, their ability, especially when an American quarterback has never played in the Canadian Football League before. And look, he's had some time here now. He's had time to adapt and adjust. And I know, talking to people with the Riders, they just love the way this guy prepares. They love his tools, and he's not a kid, right? Like, we want to view him as young, but before an American quarterback gets to the CFL, they've done the NFL camp circuit. They've done the practice roster circuit. They've done, you know, a little bit of this. So he's, you know, and he didn't do that for a long time, but he's not a kid as he's come up here now. And as we get into the, you know, the portal and things like that in college, as much as I hate it, the one thing it does do is spit out quarterbacks that have spent more time in college and are a little more ready when they get there. So they made a decision this offseason. They were going to give Cohn every opportunity, and they allowed themselves to move on from Jake Mayer, you know, who's taken a different look now for himself in Ottawa. I think it was the right decision for them to do. And I like Jake, but I think Cohn is as ready as he's ever going to be, and you won't know if he's ready for that next step until he takes it.
And I was just kind of looking right now because I was trying to remember, and I'm like, he played at Notre Dame. Like, it's not like he's coming from, like, you know, Krappenburg State.
Yeah. Well, you know, and when you look at where Trevor Harris played, right, he played at a really small school before coming up here and serving a long apprenticeship before he had a chance to play. So you never know. But look, the stage isn't going to be too big for him when he wound up playing a portion of his career at Notre Dame, and he did just fine there.
One thing, I mentioned this at the start of the show. I saw a clip, and it was great. You were on a podcast, and you were talking about youth sports. And I'm like, well, I've got to get into this with Farhan today, because you're tied into the football side with your kids out there, too, you know, on the West Coast. Things, you said gas is $2.15. Prices are different. But where we are, and I'm on the hockey side of it, and I agree. Like, it is such a haves. Like, the haves are able to play. Hockey, I see it now, even to basketball with these academies, and football. Like, I'm like talking to football kids or parents, and they're like, yeah, we're going to a camp, or we're going down to the States, we're all that. I'm like, it's January. Like, what is happening here? But the costs are out of control, Farhan, and it's a lot of times it's not the best kids making it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the kids with the best opportunities, and the system is so good in terms of the quality of coaching that by the time a guy gets spit out to the NHL level, they've just done so much and been through so much. But you are right that we don't know if we're actually getting the best kids. The podcast was called Better Sports Parenting. My good friend Scott Rintoul put it out there, and it's really gaining some traction, and I think it does a pretty good service. He's had some good guests on it, and I've lived all sides of it, because, yeah, I'm a football guy, but my son went through fairly high-level hockey until he was 13. And I know people will laugh. What do you mean high-level hockey when he was 13? But this is what happens, right? You get put into spring hockey, and you play AAA, and you play gold, and you do all of this before the kids even get to a point of being able to play rep hockey in minor hockey. I put my son in Burnaby Winter Club for a couple of years, and you know, he played with Caleb Malhotra in spring hockey, and played with Ryan Lynn at a couple of spring tournaments, and then against him at others, and the Ruck twins, and these are all first-round picks in this year's draft. So I saw what that looked like, and when we made the decision to let him play football in the U.S., you know, I said to him, you got to choose what you want to pursue. And at that point, he had been given offers to play in 3 academies. Well, an offer means you have a spot. You're still paying full freight. Yes. And at that time, 5 years ago, it was $20,000 to be in an academy. Or you could have played for the zone team, which was $17,000. And that was the cheaper alternative. And there are, you know, there's tons of travel considerations and costs on top of that. So my son has played high-level 7-on-7, which is kind of football's club equivalent, and travel, you know, ball down here. He's done that. He's got close friends that are playing travel baseball. My daughter's now playing travel basketball. There's expense to all of it. Nothing even is close to hockey. It's crazy what Canada has done to this sport. And, you know, you're still going to get a ton of kids, because if a parent just says, look, I can't do it, unless that kid is Connor McDavid 2.0, the system will say, you know what, there's another parent right here who can, right? And we had to go through it when my son was younger, that power skating and checking and battling and shooting clinics and all of this stuff. And you felt like if you didn't do some, you couldn't keep up with the Joneses. And I really wanted my kid to be a multi-sport athlete, right? And he was playing football and lacrosse and these other things. And it's just so hard to manage it all, but primarily from a cost perspective.
You're so right. And I think it's easier because I was the guy that said, I'm not doing spring hockey at that age.
Why did
That
it?
is stupid. And then
It is.
before I know it, I'm with 3 other dads, and our kids are in car seats, and we're driving to Calgary for a spring hockey tournament. And we joke, the dads and I joke now, we call it the booster seat tour. It was like, what were we doing? But you get into that for sure. And right now I got a buddy going through it. And he kind of laughed at me back, and he's like, you're going where? You're doing what? And now he's right entrenched. And it's like, but if you don't do it, you feel like, okay, what are they missing? Are they going to be asked next year? And then now we're on the outside looking in, and a lot of people have the money, but a big percentage are just borrowing.
Well, as I've said before, you've got 2 types of parents in hockey, those that have it and those who borrow it. And when you look at, even guys like Connor McDavid, and there's so many other players, I reposted a list of a number of guys, and just when you see what their parents are doing for work and the fact that they're in a position to do some of this stuff. And also, you got to be close to an urban center, right? And think of the number of hard-working families are in rural Saskatchewan, and they're not close enough to the city centers, so you can't even access it, even if you had the money to do it, right? I talked to Trevor Linden about this the other day, like the kid that grew up on the farm in Medicine Hat like he did. Those opportunities are just so difficult now, because back then you played for your local team. Eventually if you were good enough, you got into the Western Hockey League and things happened for you. Now there's so many layers and filters to kick guys out of it. I feel for the kids. I feel for the parents who just look around. And, for myself, my son and I never talked about professional hockey, right? It was always like, what's the next team that you want to make, right? And then you want to put them in position to make that next team. And it does become really difficult, because, and the best place to be truly is if your kid is really, really average, because then you kind of feel like you're so far away from it, you don't want to throw money at it. So my son could make a lot of the top teams, but when he made the top teams, he was just a guy, right? Like I told you, he played with Caleb Malhotra. Well, Caleb was a first-line center. My son was a third-line winger. Now, it was a really good team, and if you made that team, you were probably in the top 5%. But when you watched a kid like that play, you knew he wasn't in the top 1%. But because you were on the team, you felt like you were close, and you had to throw all this money at it. And it's tough to say no, right? Because it's just a kid, and the kid wants to do it, and they don't know any better, right? And then the other part of it is that, the amount of time we spend doing those things, kids don't play anymore. We just provide them with so much structure and scheduling and activity that they need stimulation. They need things thrown at them because they don't know how to just go down to the field and just go play.
Yeah. Big time. It's like, you got to do this on your own. And then I feel like the old man, it's like, well, back in our day, we would just go and do it. It doesn't happen if it's not structured, I feel. One of the stories I got, my daughter, really good hockey player. They just moved back to Regina. I had no idea, Farhan. They would drive from Thompson, Manitoba to Winnipeg. 761 kilometers each way. They would leave Friday after school, get in late, play hockey. This is spring hockey because there was no other option. Sure. Saturday, Sunday, and then boot it back and get back about 2 a.m. on Monday, and then everyone is back to school and work in Thompson. And I'm just, I got thinking to myself, I'm like, I was complaining, I think, the day before driving to Weyburn, which was an hour and 10 minutes away. And I'm like, these people are booting from Thompson, but you do it for your kids, and looking back, maybe down the road, we're gonna go, wow, were we crazy? My last thing on that was, you talk about the Burnaby Athletic Club, because I've heard a lot about that, and there's like the
Burnaby
South
Winter
Shore,
Club,
Winter Club, the South Shore and the North Shore, whatever the other one is,
North Shore
out there.
Yeah.
What age group was your kid? And then ballpark, what was the price tag? What's the price tag to play there in Burnaby?
Well, I think the at Burnaby at the time, I want to say the registration fee was around $5,000, and then there were monthly fees on top of that, like in the $250 range, and then you had team fees, and again, like compared to the academy setup, it felt like that was a drop in the bucket, and I think we kind of did it late in the process, his final 2 years, so he didn't have to pay as much. There was kind of a flat fee that was a little different, but like you do that and you think, okay, you can kind of manage that. Then there's still all these training options and still all these other options on top of that.
Sticks.
And it just, yeah. Oh my goodness. It's funny. I'm so lucky, and I say this. My daughter 2 years ago, who had rode horses, you want to talk about expense, 2 years ago decided she wanted to do basketball and volleyball. And so this year we got her onto a travel team out here, and it's VK, Venue Kings, and the guy that runs it or oversees it is the owner of Venue Kings, which is a ticket brokerage, and he sinks so much money into it just out of a labor of love, tax write-off, and just pure passion. He also volunteers as a high school basketball coach. Anthony Baruti just won the high school provincial championship for the first time, and we pay less than $2,000. And they're on the Nike Elite Circuit. So they play in Vegas, North Carolina, Chicago, LA, Arizona. They're in Penticton this weekend for a launch tournament. And no, this is awesome because they charge the kids $1,900. And that includes their travel, flights, hotel, and meals for every road trip. So the parents don't have to go. So we figure each kid is being subsidized to the tune of about 11 to 12 grand. And I'm thinking I hit the jackpot, that's all we've had to pay to send my daughter on all these trips. And it's such a needle in a haystack thing because he wanted to put this together and make sure that everybody could play and have access to it. But those things, especially in hockey, are incredibly rare.
Oh yeah, man. I'm hearing, like, I know, down in the States, like Canada is crazy. You're going 40 grand, 50 grand to what? Excuse me? But in the States, and I got to know this when we went and traveled a bit, and I'm like, you're going every weekend where, and you pay how much? And then they're the richest area code in America, South Lake, Texas. The one family's like, yeah, we're thinking about moving to Denver next year, so he'll make the prep team. And I was like, you're going to move? I'm like, what kind of life is that? Where you can move from one of the richest area codes just so your kid can play hockey in Denver? I was like, that's unbelievable. We could go on and on.
I'll say this, though. I talked to Frank Saravalli about this, and a lot of the NHL teams in places where hockey isn't popular, they actually do a really, really good job of providing entry-level packages so kids can play. Like, it's a few $100s in Philadelphia to join hockey as a kid in minor hockey, and your gear's all included. Now, ultimately, because there's such good little high-level hockey available in a number of U.S. places, you kind of have to do that if you want access to it. But in terms of entry level, I think a lot of the NHL teams do a pretty good job. But up here, there's just such a long lineup of people that'll do it and take that spot if you won't.
Good chat this week. Yeah. Next week we can recap the season for the Vancouver Canucks. But watch.
Do we have to?
Watch some golf this weekend. Cheer for Justin Rose or Patrick Reed.
My son's got a track meet tomorrow.
Oh.
I've got an award ceremony tonight. I got 7-on-7 tournaments this weekend. You think I got time for golf?
Shake the guy's hand that's supplementing your daughter's team too. For me, that's an amazing.
I will.
That's amazing.
It is. It's so good.
Talk to you next week.
See you, buddy.
See you. Farhan, Lalji from TSN joining us, brought to you by the cooperators here on the Sports Cage, as always. That's staggering numbers. So we'll be right back at Sports Cage, streaming their YouTube channel at sportscage.com.
If you've been putting up with cold showers and hard water that makes everything feel like more work, stop waiting. Reliance Heat makes it easy. Rent a water heater and a water softener starting at about $1.20 a day and get $400. That means hot water when you need it and water that just works better. No big upfront cost, no hassles. Visit waterheaterrentals.com to get the offer.
Call on Reliance.
Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
620 CKRM on location.
Let us set you up with a ticket for the Humboldt Broncos Cash Lottery. This is the final push. All the draws coming up this weekend. Friday night will be the deadline. Somebody's going to get the phone call saying, congratulations, you have just won $100,000. Now, to give yourself a chance to get that phone call, Tickets are $100 a piece, and we've got so many more cash draws on top of that. We've got all those subsidiary draws, a 50-50 that could pay out $100,000 based on a sellout. Those are going $25 each, 10 for 50 or 100 for 100. Now you go to HumboldtBroncos.com, or better yet, get to the phone. 1 for 100, 5 for 250. That's the 620 CKRM special. 1-844-726-2026. 1-844-726-2026.
In sports, everybody loves debating the Mount Rushmore of all-time greats. So what about the Mount Rushmore of flooring? Hardwood, laminate, carpet, tile. Hey, let's not forget vinyl and linoleum. No matter what flooring you need, the experienced local team at Flooring Superstore can help you find the right fit for your home and on budget. Whether you're doing a quick cash and carry project or you want professional install, they'll set it all up for you. Flooring Superstore, over 20 years in business. FlooringSuperstoreRegina.ca.
You cut the grass, we'll cut the deal at Brent Agriculture. Get 0% financing for 84 months, plus cash rebates and bonuses on select John Deere turf equipment. Save on compact utility tractors, riding lawnmowers, and utility vehicles. Get it from people who get it. Offer ends April 30th, 2026. Some restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
Text CKRM 306-936-6262. Powered by Prairie Land Rentals. From power tools to skid steers, they probably have what you need for your job. 600 Albert Street, where you deal with the owner. It's time for the Sports Ticker. Brought to you by Reliance Heath Water Heater Rentals. Rent a water heater and water softener starting at about $1.20 a day and get $400 when you switch to Reliance Heath.
Masters round 2. They're still on the course in Augusta, Georgia. The leader, Rory McIlroy, although he just hit it into the patrons on 15. He's at -8. Patrick Reed, Tommy Fleetwood, Sam Burns are all tied for second at -6. And we got Jason Day in his bad gear and Justin Rose at -5. Going to be a good weekend. Western Hockey League playoffs. Let's go. If you're around Prince Albert and you got tickets tonight, 7 p.m. game time. Saskatoon Blades, Prince Albert Raiders, game 1. We're going to talk to a member of the Saskatoon Blades and Prince Albert Raiders teams coming up here in a bit. Calgary Hitmen, Medicine Hat Tigers, game 1 tonight. Kelowna Rockets, Everett Silvertips, and Prince George Penticton also go at it in game number 1. Major League Baseball, Twins, Jays, 5:07 our time. The ticker is for Reliance Heath. Switch to Reliance Heath today. Get $200 cash back on your new water heater. Some conditions apply. Call on Reliance. All right, this news last year, Anton Ammanrud, quarterback from the University of Saskatchewan Huskies, forced to leave the team late into the playoffs. They rallied around him, obviously made the ship, but lymphoma. And it tugs at the feels. Like, you felt so bad, everybody involved, the kids, the pictures, and all that. And then it was released this week that he's hoping to be on the field coming up this fall. Amazing. Dave Thomas had a chance to catch up with head coach of the U of S Huskies, Scott Flory.
Pleased to be joined by the head coach of the University of Saskatchewan Huskies, Scott Flory. And boy, I tell you, there's a lot of emotions and a lot of adjectives that you can use. But the best news of all is that Anton Ammanrud has gone ahead and gotten to the point where he can think about playing football again. What is your reaction?
Yeah, when we first when I got the news anyway from Anton, it was you're so happy for him. I mean, just the whirlwind of the last 6 months. it's just been an unbelievable ride. The emotions, the stresses, the highs, the lows. He's not out of the woods yet. Like, we know that it is a fickle disease that is going to do its own path. We do our best to control it, but he knows that, for the time being, and the chemo worked, and he's got to stay on top of things, and there's still steps to go. But just the fact of the last 6 months and everything that's gone on, it's just fantastic for him.
What does that say about the program that you have built at the University of Saskatchewan? Whenever you see photos that he releases, he's with a teammate, and there's the support and the leadership and the foundation that are surrounded him in this journey that he's been going on.
Yeah, I think that, if you look at it, the culture of football is just so different than other sports, and it really is. It is about the team. I mean, we got 85, 90 guys on the football team. There's 12 on the field at a time, and you're so integrated and so interdependent on each other, and that goes beyond the field of play. It goes into the locker room. It goes into the off season. It goes into the meeting rooms. It goes into school. And I think that just that culture of team, and maybe it's by nature of the position I played as an offensive lineman, where you're not doing it alone, is that we rely heavily on each other and the love and support of each other in that locker room, and you can see it. You can see it in the team. You can see, just the group that we had last year and how they rallied around Anton, and it was never. Nobody was ever selfish about it. They just want what's best for him and what's best for the team and for the program, and it's never about any one person. The sum is always greater than the parts.
That's a story. Rooting for him, for sure. Still more to come. In hour 2 of the Sports Cage, we're going to give you that keyword again for the backyard putting green giveaway from the Classic Landscape Company. Yes, we are giving away a backyard putting green here on the Sports Cage. Also, Off the Rails Friday with Eric Francis, clutch performer. And then we will talk to Jeff Hayes from the Saskatoon Blades and SaskTel Center up in Saskatoon as we get set for the Blades and Raiders. It is a Sports Cage streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com.
The auction calendar is stacked at Ritchie Brothers, and an exciting Regina auction is happening May 28th. Visit their website or Regina location to view a wide variety of used heavy equipment from top brand manufacturers. You won't want to miss this great opportunity. Head to rbauction.com/Regina to sign up and be ready for the auction. Again, that's rbauction.com/Regina.
Are you looking for a quality Charlet bull to sire those market-topping Charcross calves? They sell this Saturday at the Brimner Cattle Company's Charlet bull and female sale, 2 o'clock at the farm near Manor. Selling 41 quality yearling Charlet bulls and 7 purebred Charlet open replacement heifers and 3 open commercial heifers. Bulls are semen tested, guaranteed, with delivery options available. Call Kelly Brimner at 306-577-7698. Catalog, videos, and online bidding at dlms.ca.
Get ready to rock the conversation on aging. Join Saskatchewan Seniors Mechanism for a powerful 3-part conference series. Beyond Ageism, Rockin' in the New World, April 21st. Healthcare, Rockin' the Boat, April 28th. And Life Satisfaction as We Age, Older Adults Rock On, May 12th. Receive inspiration and wisdom from older adults' lives, plus why and how older people can help make essential change happen. You'll gain tools to speak up, take action, and advocate with confidence. Visit skseniorsmechanism.ca.
Riding the range is tough. But try loading a video with slow internet. That's when a cowboy really gets bucked off. Whoa, easy, big fella. That's why I tip my hat to Glazers TV, your SaskTel authorized dealer. With fast, reliable internet, you can stream, scroll, and game smoother than a horse on a freshly oiled saddle leather. Giddy up and get connected today. Contact Glazers TV, your SaskTel authorized dealer in Moosomin today.
Since 1949, Nielsen Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nielsen Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality. In the Strasbourg, Last Mountain Lake area, call Dean at Solid Works Carpentry or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nielsen Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
From the towers to the tractors, country's greatest hits. 620 CKRM, a Harvard media station.
It's 4 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Tanner Wallace-Scribner from the SaskToday.ca newsroom with your 620 CKRM news. The Regina Urgent Care Center is reducing its hours for one day due to staffing challenges. The center will operate from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. today instead of its usual closing time of 9:30. The Saskatchewan Health Authority says the change is due to physician availability. Normal hours are set to resume tomorrow. Patients requiring urgent care while the center is closed are advised to call 911 or visit the Regina General or Pasqua Hospital. The University of Regina has unveiled a new long-term plan aimed at growing research, improving student learning, and strengthening community ties. The strategy, called Together We Serve, looks ahead to 2035 and was shaped by input from students, staff, and partners. It includes a focus on key research areas like energy and health, along with more hands-on learning for students. The university also plans to deepen its commitment to reconciliation. While leaders say the plan prepares the school for future challenges, they acknowledge pressures like funding and enrollment changes remain. Saskatchewan has the lowest jobless number in the country, according to data from Stats Canada released this morning. Stats Canada says the economy added 14,000 jobs in March, marking a slight rebound from the sharp losses the month before. The unemployment rate held steady at 6.7%, while Saskatchewan's went down to 5% from 5.6% the previous month. In Regina, the rate fell from 6% from 6.9%, while in Saskatoon, the rate fell to 5.2% from 5.7% the previous month. The job gains are mostly in line with economists' expectations and marks a modest rebound from sharp losses across January and February. Today's data is the Bank of Canada's last look at the labor market before its next interest rate decision at the end of this month. Saskatchewan's opposition NDP and the provincial government are clashing over claims about affordability in Regina. The NDP says budget figures show some families pay more in provincial taxes and power than those in Vancouver. They argue planned increases to power rates, insurance, and taxes on some goods will raise costs even farther. The government disputes this, saying the NDP used selective data. Officials point to higher housing and overall costs of living in Vancouver. They say total expenses remain much lower in Regina when all factors are included. The Saskatchewan government's first Crown and oil gas land sale of the fiscal year has brought in nearly $12.9 million. Companies bid on 87 parcels across the Estevan, Lloydminster, Kindersley, and Swift-Current areas, covering more than 20,000 hectares. Estevan generated the most revenue, followed by Lloydminster. The highest single bid came for land near Kindersley. The province says lease and license sales depend on factors like oil prices, land availability, and market conditions. That's 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620CKRM.com.
Breakdowns never happen at a good time. That's why regular maintenance matters. A protection plan from Bronco Plumbing, Heating and Cooling helps keep your plumbing, heating and cooling systems running efficiently, your air clean, and your utility costs down. It stops small issues from becoming expensive problems while keeping the price affordable. Call 781-2090 or visit broncoplumbing.com today. Bronco Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, and Bryant, whatever it takes.
Weather brought to you by Next Gen Coatings. Spray coatings for truck bed liners, rocker panels, and more. Same company, new name. 1865 McCarra Street in Regina. Tonight, partly cloudy sky and a low of 0. Tomorrow, looking partly sunny and a high up to 15. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, maybe a risk of a shower late in the area, and a low down to 4. Mainly cloudy on Sunday, some spotty showers in the area, and a high of 7 degrees. Monday, mix of sun and cloud and a high of 8. Tuesday, partly sunny and a high of 12. Currently, in downtown Regina, sunny sky, and it is 9 degrees.
For over 40 years, you've known them as Regina's trusted vehicle protection specialists. Now they're introducing the next gen of coatings. New name, new level of protection. They're now next gen coatings. 3 generations of their family have served your family, and that hasn't changed. Same owners, same commitment, ready for the next gen of truck beds, rocker panels, trailers, bumpers, and running boards. The company hasn't changed, just the name. Next Gen Coatings, 1865 McCarra Street. The next gen starts now.
SaskToday.ca is your local news source, proudly serving communities all across Saskatchewan. Sask Today's team of local journalists are on the ground focusing on local topics that matter to you. From agriculture, local community news, sports, and more. Find it all at SaskToday.ca. Sign up for our daily news digest at SaskToday.ca. From Harvard Media, everywhere.
Donations to the War Amps have a lasting impact on amputees. Today, your support gives them the artificial limbs and resources they need for everyday activities and learning to live with amputation. Having access to our essential programs helps amputees prepare for tomorrow on their road to independence. The War Amps is committed to improving the quality of life for Canadian amputees, but this wouldn't be possible without you. To learn how your donation helps, visit waramps.ca.
Pack your bags and get ready for a trip of a lifetime. 620 CKRM and Kloss are giving you the chance to experience 6 unforgettable days in Germany. Enjoy a scenic Rhine River cruise, incredible food, local wine, and unforgettable nights taking in the culture, sights, and sounds of Germany. And yes, you'll also tour the Kloss World Headquarters and see how everything's built up close. Be listening to find out which sponsor locations you can enter at across southern Saskatchewan and catch chances to qualify during Saskag Today with Ryan Young. The grand prize draw happens this July at Ag in Motion. Don't miss your shot at the Kloss Germany trip giveaway on 620 CKRM. 620 CKRM on location.
And here we go. We got a few hours remaining. In fact, you got just under 3 hours to go. 2 hours and 54 minutes to get you involved in the Broncos Cash Lottery. This is the Humboldt Broncos Cash Lottery. Great lottery, lots of prizes, lots of money to hand out. About $100,000. This time of the year, that would be a fantastic addition to your account. $100,000 for a $50 ticket, maybe, because you can get a 5-pack for $250. If you want just an individual ticket, it's $100. But we want to, just appreciate your loyalty and appreciate your support. So a 5-pack for $250. You can split that out with some friends or co-workers, however you want to divvy it. And then wait for the draws tomorrow afternoon at 2. Deadline tonight, 7 o'clock. Big 50-50, subsidiary draws galore and more. You call 1-844-726-2026. That's 1-844-726-2026.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sportscage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Nielsen Homes, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sportscage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Sports, welcome back to the Sports Cage. On this Friday for Nielsen Homes. Having a great time with the Masters on here, keeping you updated. Rory McIlroy is the leader. Can't believe it. He's at -8. Watch out for Shane Lowry, people. He's coming. He is coming, and Tommy Fleetwood is charging in an awful brown-on-brown combo. Man, I hate when guys dress like that. Jason Day's get-up today is weird-looking, too. We are here for it's finally here, the WHL playoffs. I know some of you listening up in and around Prince Albert and Saskatoon heading to the Art Hauser Center tonight for Game 1. It is going to be there. I think it's, what is it? What's the number? $32.99. Man, when you take into consideration all the backdoor, $32.99. There'll be what, $3,400 in there. and it's going to feel like 19,000. It's going to be pumping so much. Game number 1, we're going to talk to in-house announcer of the Saskatoon Blades, Jeff Hayes, who's been through some lean years with the Blades here in hour 2. And then hour 3, we got voice of the Prince Albert Raiders, Nick Nielsen, going to join us. It's on. Have you heard the Sportscage and the Classic Landscape Company giving away a backyard putting green? That is right. Grand prize winner is going to be announced May 1st. All you got to do is text 936-6262, area code 306, and today's keyword is green. Can't make it more easier for you. If you can't figure that out, I don't know if you should be in the promo or in the draw. Just 936-6262 green, and you have a chance to win an installed from the Classic Landscape Company a backyard putting green. That's how we do it. All right, it's Friday. It's 4:10. Let's go off the rails with Eric Francis.
Now for Inside the NHL with Eric Francis on the Sports Cage. Inside the NHL is brought to you by Sports Select. Getting in on more of the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportsselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer.
When I come there this summer and you take me to some of these fancy golf courses, and I'm going to dress brown on brown like Tommy Fleetwood.
You know, you and I are often in sync in a lot of ways. Those are two of my biggest takeaways from watching 8 hours of Masters 2 days in a row. Like, Jason Day's had an issue with his pants forever. And now, like, he's got this sponsor, and the stupid company that supplies his pants, like, splashes their name on the bottom. They're the worst pants in the league, have been for 10 years. Has he not understood that we now taper our pants? We don't have the pleats, and they're not baggy. It's not Arnold Palmer. It's unbelievable that these guys have so many consultants in so many ways and can go out in front of the biggest audience they'll ever have in their world and make asses of themselves with what they're wearing.
Have you ever you've gone to a mall, shopped or whatever, and been like, that looks really good on a mannequin? I started the show with this. And then you buy it and you take it home and you're like, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't look good. He's going to go back and look at his highlights tonight. Jason Day and that powder blue and yellow combo thingy and go, what were we thinking?
You know, I recently bought a hoodie that I thought was really cool, good looking. It was like
Ed Hardy?
It was browns. It was brown paisley with some beiges in there. I thought it was really cool, and it was really comfortable, and I actually thought it was really stylish. And I got home, and on my recent trip, my family trip to Cabo, I was wearing it every night. It was my only long sleeve I brought. And my kids and my wife absolutely teed off on me. I guess they think it's the ugliest thing I've ever owned. So what I did was, we got back, and I still disagree with them, but I'm not going to fight it. I'm not going to wear it anymore. If you're married, you know you get one frame jersey in your whole house. One frame. Right? If you're single, you can fill your boots. Hang them from the curtain rods on hangers. Doesn't matter. But
I know what you're going to say.
So I took my hoodie, and I took out my. I got an Olympic jersey signed by Sid and Iggy, and I put my Paisley, and it's right next to where my son games, and it's right next to my wife's office in the basement. And I went away for 2 weeks on a road trip with the Flames, and I just waited for the text, and sure enough, they saw it, and they were howling.
That is totally something I would do. That is totally something I would do, and I've probably done something similar to that. No, I almost break out into cold sweats when I'm shopping, and it comes to the point where I'm like, I'm going to buy this, and my wife's not around. And I'm like, then I'm going to FaceTime as the last resort and be like, can I buy this? And she'll be like, no. Like, what are you what are you thinking? I bought a leather jacket once in Boston, and it had like fur, and right away I'm thinking, man, I look like I could have been in Top Gun. Like, this is a nice bomber, jacket. It's brown. My buddy's with me. He's like, that's not a bad jacket. I brought it home, same thing. She was like, what are you thinking? You can never wear that. Like, you can't wear that. And I was amazing. Like, oh, and I remember, I think I tried to give it to somebody like that was cold in the winter and said, hey, do you want this jacket? Because I'm not allowed to wear this. Can't have it in my house. But the framing thing, oh man, that's a good play. Have you been there? Because you got the hat on. Have you been there?
Yeah, I went to 2013. I went Adam Scott won in a playoff. I went as a patron. And, the one thing I always say about the Masters is it's the only sporting event in the world where their goal is to make sure that you have a great experience. And you think about that. Every other event, and I've been to all the biggest sporting events in the world, they're all aimed for one thing. How can we rake as much money from every patron as possible? And the Masters, this hat I'm wearing, this was $25, I remember. This, I think people would pay $100 online if they could get it. They don't sell any of their stuff online. You go in the pro shop now and you buy stuff and you ship it straight home. You don't even carry it because you buy boatloads of it. Because like Masters golf shirts are $50. It's ridiculous. They're just trying to break even. They make so much. I read about it. They because of their TV deal, they get $1 billion a year from CBS. They don't need that. They don't need to make a dime on anything else. They could if they wanted to, but like their ice cream peach sandwiches are the greatest thing you'll ever eat. 75 cents. A beer, $1.50. I heard this year. Someone told me in the last couple of years, because I haven't been for a while, they've raised the beer price. Now it's $6 for an import. Like
Colson
that's
has
the deal of the century.
Colson has the picture of the prices this year because once he pulls it up, I got some questions on it. It's what about, because everyone's heard the stories about when you're driving in, it's like ghetto. It isn't very nice and like strip malls and all that. All of a sudden you turn and it's like, whoa, I'm on another planet here. What about like around? Are there like when you go to an NFL game, there's the guy set up in a van with the knockoff T-shirts? Is there people like with the knockoff gear?
Yeah, and that guy's name is John Daly. He parks his RV. You know this, right? Yeah. But for those who don't know, he parks his RV every year at the Hooters parking lot, a couple blocks down the road. And you're right, it is not a very the overwhelming smell as you enter Augusta National is Kentucky Fried Chicken, and then you enter the pearly gates and you're in heaven. It's different, but yeah, John Daly. I got yelled at by his third or fourth wife, whatever it was. She just got out of jail, and she was yelling at me because I was loitering. She said. I just couldn't decide what I wanted to buy from him. But like I have in my office here, like a flag, like the Masters flag, framed. He buys hundreds of them from the Masters, signs them all, and then sells them for twice the price. Like, so it's not a knockoff, but it's just like, it's ridiculous. It's embarrassing is what it is. It's so sad. It's so sad what's going on in that man's life. But anyway.
Here's the food prices that Colson's got. So we got some sort of breakfast sandos are $2. Where's the beer? Yeah. Domestic beer, $6 now. A white wine is $6. That's gone up quite a bit in the last few years.
Yeah.
What would be your go-to? What's your go-to on those on the sandwiches there?
Well, you have the pimento, but it's not good. Like, okay, it's a spread. It's 2 pieces of Wonder Bread and a bit of a spread with mayonnaise and pimentos. Like, you have one because it's $1.50 and it's a master tradition, but they're no good. Like, they're not tasty or anything like that. But you go there and you get, back when I was there, $1.50 for a drink. You go there and you buy 4 beers, you and your buddies, and 4 meals, and it comes to $19. You're like, oh my God, like this is heaven. And the other thing though, I always remember about Augusta is the washrooms. You'll never see a washroom on the TV broadcast. Like, you're not going to see a porta potty in the background. They don't have that. It's gross. They've got these bunkers and they're camouflaged, but they're the most beautiful bathrooms, and you will never, ever, ever go into a stall. They have like an unbelievable system like I've never seen anywhere in the world. You line up, and it moves like very quickly. There's a guy at the door holding you back, and then suddenly the guy yell out, "Stall 14!" And then a guy had just gone in there, sprayed a nice little mist. I don't know what the fragrance is. And then he wipes it down, and then you go in. But you'd never go in right after someone else has gotten rid of their pimento and cheese. You know what I mean? It's so sophisticated. It's the most perfect place on earth. When they open the gates in the morning, there's no running. You're not allowed to run. You'll get kicked out immediately. You buy a chair for $50. It's a great keepsake. You put it anywhere you want. No one will touch it all day. It's amazing. It's the greatest place on earth. No question about it.
What day should I go if I can go to one?
Easy question. Wednesday. You have to go Wednesday.
I don't want to go to the par 3.
I don't know. I didn't go to the par 3, so I can't really answer that. But it's not the real course, right? You're not on the real course. You're on the hallowed grounds of Augusta National, but you're not walking the 18 holes you've been watching on TV forever. Wednesday's the only day you can bring your phone/camera in there. And so I think Wednesday's the best day to go because are you there to see the players? Not a chance. You're there to walk on the most sacred ground in sporting history. You're there to traverse this course, this setting, this idyllic golf course that everyone's dreamt of and no one will ever play. So you want photos of that. So to me, it's Wednesday. I think the worst day to go is Sunday because you can't see anything. Like I always tell people, that year was the year Angel Cabrera and Adam Scott both stuffed it on 18 to within 2 feet. Both got birdies on 18 to send it into a playoff. I never saw either of those shots into 18, nor did I see any of the playoff because everybody congregates to the playoff holes and you can't get anywhere near seeing anything. So you want to see the drama unfold. Golf is the worst sport in the world to watch live. I'll always say that. It's so much better on TV. The drama unfolds and the way they paint the picture and you see how it's all happening. Golf is live is junk. The only major you should ever go see is the Masters.
What about, I can't bring my phone if I go practice round Tuesday?
Oh, practice round Tuesday as well. Yeah, sorry. I didn't get into town until Tuesday night. So yeah,
so that
any
might
of the practice rounds you can bring.
Yeah, maybe that's because I want to walk the real course as much of it as I can. I want to be able to snap some pictures so I can prove to my kids or humans that I was there. And then I don't really care about watching the competition, to be honest with you. I went to the 2009 PGA Championship. I told the story yesterday. And when Y.E. Yang sinks the putt against Tiger, we're all at the top of the grandstand, and I got a disposable camera because I got the guys to go put it in a plastic bag in the woods, and we ran and got it Sunday, brought it up, and then I had the camera and I took pictures. Yeah, they put it in a Ziploc bag in a hollowed out log. And then they went and got it on Sunday, and then we sat up there and we gambled, and by the Sunday, people were like, "Hey, the gambling guys are back. Let's get in on it. How much?" Da, da, da. And I was like, "This was fun," but I don't. The competition is like you got to run around and you got to fight crowds, and that's why I was bunking in on the Hazeltine was good because you had 18 and 9 were parallel, and you had the grandstand, and then if you were at the right top of 18, you could watch 10, the back of 10. So you got 3 holes. That's as good as you're going to get in a major, watching 3 holes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I found a couple perches like that at Augusta. You sit there all day, when you find a really good perch, you just stay there all day. You sit on the grass. It's amazing. Life's good. But don't forget also at Augusta, unlike a lot of other tournaments I've gone to where they've got electronic scoreboards everywhere, they have no electronic scoreboards at Augusta. It's all those manual ones. And there's something beautiful about that. But they're not on every hole. They're not from every vantage point. And because you don't have your phone with you, you literally could not have a clue for hours who's leading until they start coming through with the signs that the kids carrying for each group. So that's why golf, people don't understand, golf is so great on TV. It's made for TV. You can't see the contours of the green and the elevations at Augusta. They're doing a better job.
But now you can, Eric. Like I said, I don't know if we talked about. I talked about this on Wednesday, but I've been talking about it. It's like we used to watch it back in 13, back in when Tigers days. And it's like, well, that's not a tough putt. That's not a tough chip because we didn't get the angles in the high def. Now it's like, whoa, what is that? Someone parked a bus in the middle of the green and they put green over top of it and you got to go up and down and around. And then there's no flat lies. Like what TV does it such justice now?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think any TV broadcast will ever make it clear how hard it is for these guys to negotiate these greens and fairways, and but they're doing a better job for sure. And I don't know. I don't have a bucket list in life, but if I did, Masters would have been on number 1 and probably right through 1 till 5 because it's that good. And I went 4 days that week. It was incredible. 3 days. Sorry.
Playing
practice
it.
Round.
Playing.
Okay, so I throw this at people all the time. What's your number? You get a phone call tomorrow, and a guy goes, you won't believe this. Long story, bud. I got us a tee time at Augusta National on Friday. What would you pay? Because my number is $20,000. I would pay that in a heartbeat, and I'd probably go way higher. Because you don't get the opportunity.
I don't know if my wife's listening, but one of my no, seriously, one of my really good friends from Boston, took me to the 2013 World Series. Used to have a bar on Boylston right behind Fenway. We played hockey together. Like, this guy's legit. Like, when he says, hey, come in for the series, I got us tickets. And we went in, and we had club seats in Fenway for the World Series. Like this, and like, how do I repay you? He's like, Shink, I don't want to come to Saskatchewan. He's like, just pay it forward. And I'm like, oh. So then he went and set up Bar Tacos in Georgia. So he was living in Atlanta. Then he started playing hockey with a guy that's a member at Augusta. And I go, Kate, I said, Donnie, I said, I don't know how I can explain this to you. But this guy, let him know you have a Canadian that will do anything to come and play that golf course. And he's like, okay, I'll see him tomorrow. And I'll plant the seed. And I'm just like, oh my. So then I called my wife, but my kids were like 1 and 3. And I'm like, this is, just so you know, there'll be a note. I'll send you a text. And then there'll be a note. I'm gone. And that doesn't mean I'm gone. It's just the only thing that I would drop everything and go and do. I don't care how I got to get there. I don't care. Do I got to drive to Minot and then puddle jump from there? Do I got to drive to Minneapolis and then go from there? I don't care. I don't know, price tag wise at this part of my life, I don't know. But I would do whatever. I didn't say that, but pretty darn close.
Well, for sure.
Would you give up your pinky? Would you give up your pinky to play it?
I don't know if I want to start throwing around body parts, but I'd way rather just give a guy $20,000 or $30,000. So if I got an option between the two, I'm keeping my finger.
Nub guy.
Those come in handy.
How do I tie my skates? How do I? I'd let you pick which one. Pinky? No.
Oh.
My uncles that used to be farmers, they'd come and they'd be like, when you're a kid, it would just like be traumatizing. It's like, what happened to Uncle Jim's fingers? They're gone. They're little nubs. Okay. One hole. One hole.
Just tell this quick story.
Okay, you go and then I'll ask you that.
So I don't know what year it was. Well, I know exactly what year it was. 21 years ago, because I'll tell you why I know that in a second. Stephen Ames wins the tournament a week before the Masters to get into the Masters for the very first time. Stephen Ames was a Calgary resident, and it was kind of a big deal in this city. I was working for the local newspaper. I was our columnist. I got a call on a Sunday night from my editor saying, "You're going to Augusta," and because he knew I'd covered all the other majors but not Augusta. And he goes, "You're going to Augusta. I got you credited. You're going to cover Stephen Ames." There's a long pause on the phone. I said, "I'm getting married next weekend. I'm going to have to call you back." I'm going to make some big decisions here that will impact the rest of my life. And I did give it a day, but I just could not figure out a way. Like, I got married instead. And yesterday was my 21st anniversary, so that's why I remember the story. But here's the real kick in the teeth on top of it. Not only did I went to go years later as a patron, which is better than covering it. But they sent a young man in my stead. He was new in the business. He had no business being at Augusta National. They sent him, and guess what happened when he was there? He won the media draw and got to play Augusta National. 12 guys in the world get that opportunity every year. His number came up. So I try not to think about the fact that might have been my spot. And then I lost out on a chance to play Augusta National.
Your wedding was at Lake Louise, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How many people would you have disappointed besides your wife?
80 people. And, you know, it's funny, when you look back, that's 21 years ago. About half of them I'm not really that close with anymore. So I really would have only disappointed 30 or 40 people in my life. Yeah.
What is... is she compassionate about it?
I told this story once before, and it's funny. I think she's in the other room and can hear me right now, so I'm probably in big trouble. I told this story. Oh, she's laughing. Oh,
there goes your weekend. There goes your weekend.
Anyway, I got to go. We'll see you, Barney. I told the story once. Oh, my God. I told the story once before at a party, and she heard me tell it, and she kind of pulled me aside on the way home and said, you know, you'd be wise to never tell that story ever again, especially the way you told it. So I tried not to, but I just did, and now she heard me, and so I'll be lucky to get to 22 years.
Oh, man. Okay, we got like 4 minutes of hockey here. Since you're NHL insider, Eric Francis for Sports Select. What? Seriously, man. This is why I don't like the current playoff setup. What happened, Dallas and Minnesota yesterday, they're going to end up playing each other in the playoffs. Yeah, that's great. I don't know if it's going to be like what we saw last night, though.
Look, I think there's already a built-in hatred between those two guys. Those two teams have known for half a year that they're going to play each other in the first round of the playoffs. So I do think that
Oh, he's got a phone call coming in. It's his wife. This is when his camera cuts out. It's when he's got a call coming in. I can hear you from the other room. Are you telling that story? We got to wait for him to come back. Our NHL insider, Eric Francis for Sports Select. You can play it online now. Generate a QR code, go to your Lotto Spot retailer, scan away.
Hello?
Was it your wife calling, saying, you're not telling that story, are you?
No, I heard a door slam, so none of this is good. What's happening right now?
Minnesota, Dallas.
Oh yeah, Minnesota, Dallas. Yeah, those guys hate each other. Speaking of which, so I do think that the dislike for one another is real, and I think it's gonna be a hell of a series. I was looking at it today, kind of breaking it down in my mind, and the two talented teams, and the only reason why I think Minnesota would have a chance is because Quinn Hughes is there now, that can control the game, as we saw at the Olympics. But I just look at down the middle for Minnesota. Like, their number one centers, Ryan Hartman. Then they got Eriksson Ek. Like, it's not strong down the middle, and that's where a lot of people think playoffs are won and lost, other than goaltending. And, you know, Colorado's got the best centers in the league by far, to the point where they added Kadri and Nicholas Waugh at the deadline, which is like the most ridiculous overkill you've seen in a long time. So you can't see anyone beating Colorado in the West. They really can't.
And then what's the story on the rookie from Calgary?
Oh, yeah, like those who braved the Flames game last night, it was 2-0. Dustin Wolf had 41 shots on goal with 3 minutes left, kept them in the game. They're down 2-0. Tyson Gross, a month ago, signed with the Flames. He's kind of like the hottest free agent college signing. He's a Calgary kid, grew up in this city, dreamt of being a Flame his whole life. Third NHL game. With 3 minutes to go, they put him out for a crucial faceoff with the goalie pulled. He wins the faceoff. It's kind of his specialty. Wins the faceoff and ends up scoring his first NHL goal to make it a one-goal game. A minute later, he scores again. It's tied 2-2. However, coach's challenge. The poor kid was offside by a foot going into the zone. Second goal doesn't count. 30 seconds. It was like one of the great stories of this where the young kid finally gets 2 goals. And it would have hijacked the President's Trophy, title for Colorado. However, they ended up winning it as one would expect, and he was still pretty thrilled to get his first goal. But what an incredible series for about a minute there! It was wild to watch.
Did you watch? Rory just chipped in. Oh yeah. I don't have Rory. I got Patrick Reed. Remember, you wanted to give my money back. I got Reed and Justin Rose. Those are 2 nice ponies. Hey, what did you watch? You didn't watch that Frozen Four semifinal then last night, Michigan and Denver?
No, I heard it was quite a game.
Oh, yeah.
I heard Cole Reshney was dominant out there.
That was the game before. I didn't watch that one. But
the other
Denver,
one. Okay,
Denver's goalie, like 52 saves or whatever. He was unreal. Yeah, and then the kid by the name of Kent Anderson, second goal of the season, is the double overtime winner.
Here's a funny story. Ken Anderson's father is my tennis partner. I play tennis, and don't say this out loud, pickleball. I play with Ron Anderson. That's his son. He was there. He sent me that exact clip last night because I wasn't paying attention to the game. I'm so thrilled for the kid. He's going to the final.
Yeah.
And he did score a few before that, but apparently not. That was amazing. And I know awesome. That's so funny.
That's good. Your internet's kind of breaking up too. I think your wife is out back snipping the cord. You got some explaining to do. And then, so are you here next week and you would leave the week after?
Yeah.
Next week we're good?
So if I'm still alive, we'll talk next Wednesday.
Hey, don't root for Patrick Reed then, but root for Justin Rose for me.
Well, he's a good guy. He's easy to root for. I'll root for him. I'm with you.
Okay. Talk to you Wednesday, maybe. Finished. Tell your wife I said hi.
All right, yeah, maybe. Wish me luck, brother. God, why did I tell that story? Damn it.
NHL and other things. Off the Rails Friday with Eric Francis. That's what it is. Brought to you by Sports Select, where you can make your picks online now. Generate a QR code. Simply lock in your bet at your Lotto Spot retailer. Every bet is 100% legal with a chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly. Break time. It's a Sportscage on 620 CKRM.
620 CKRM on location.
And a good afternoon. Here we go. Friday, heading into the weekend. And why not treat yourself? You worked hard all week. Give yourself an opportunity to give back and win cash. How's $100,000 in the pocket sound? You can do a lot with 100 G's these days, and it's only a minimal cost or a minimal investment. That's the way I look at it. You're investing back into small town Saskatchewan. Show your love. Get a ticket. It's $100 or 5 for $250 for $100,000. And then we've got all those subsidiary draws and a whole lot more on top of that. Visa, MasterCard. Ask about the 50/50. Deadline 7 o'clock tonight. So we are working on about 2.5 hours to go here. And then we're going to wrap things up. We'll make the draws 2 in the afternoon. Hopefully we can give you a call. Call us right now. 1-844-726-2026. Again, deadline 7 o'clock tonight. Draws at 2. 1-844-726-2026.
He's skating on us. Quick, let's hide in the garage.
No. It's stuck. Again.
You said you fixed it.
I meant to. I just never called Busy Bee Doors.
Lift it. Hurry, lift it.
It won't budge. It's busted.
Don't let a broken garage door turn into a horror story. Call Busy Bee Doors. They can fix or replace any commercial or garage door. Busy Bee Doors, the garage door specialists.
Sask Lotteries has over 50 years of winning behind us. And you know what that means?
lots of winning numbers. Numbers like over 1,200 organizations funded and 12,000 plus groups supported. $6 million given away annually in community grants. And the winningest number of all? $1.4 billion given back to the people of Saskatchewan through sport, culture, and recreation. And we're just getting started. Learn more at sasklotteries.ca.
What's going on in the markets? When is the right time to invest? What should you do with your money today? When Doug had questions, he talked to Brian Golly.
He's always there to answer your questions, and if he's not there, he gets back to you very shortly. You never know when you got a concern. When it comes to your portfolio, sometimes waiting is torture.
Don't guess with your money this RRSP season.
I would definitely recommend Brian because he's done well for us.
Call Brian Golly at Smart Investing Solutions, 546-2533.
You cut the grass, we'll cut the deal at Brent Agriculture. Get 0% financing for 84 months, plus cash rebates and bonuses on select John Deere turf equipment. Save on compact utility tractors, riding lawnmowers, and utility vehicles. Get it from people who get it. Offer ends April 30th, 2026. Some restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
Back to Sportscage. Text 306-936-6262. 620 CKRM.
It's for Nelson Homes on Friday, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. During that fun with Eric Francis, Rory McIlroy chipped in. I don't know if that was an eagle or what it was, but he's at minus 11 now. He's got a 5-stroke lead on everybody else at the Masters. So we'll keep you updated on that as we go along here. Tonight up in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. You can't spell paradise without PA. It's the Raiders and Blades, game 1 of their playoff series. It is going to be so good. Let's go out on the Western Pizza guest hotline. Perfect night for a little Western Pizza. Joining us, first time on the program, so everybody welcome him. Make him feel welcome. It is Jeff Hayes, Blades public address announcer since 1999-2000.
That is correct. Yeah, absolutely. Thought I'd do it for a couple of years, and I'm still here.
How many games would that be? Can you keep track?
I'm probably within a few games of being accurate, but I started keeping track a number of years ago when they honored Les Lazaruk, who's been at it 32 years now. I forget how many games he's at, but they honored him for his 2000th game or something. So I started looking back, and as of today, again, this is probably off. I think we're at about 1,072 games. Now, keep in mind, Barney, that about a good 1,000 of those are Saskatoon Blades games. But with this, and this is why I keep doing this, the opportunities that have come my way over the years. Never, for a kid from small town Saskatchewan, would I guess that I would do the 2013 Memorial Cup, the 2010 World Juniors, which I wasn't supposed to do, and top prospects, NHL preseason games. So it's been really an honor, and kudos to the Blades staff, and over the years, great people to work with. They've made it fun for me. So if they want to keep having me, I'll keep doing it. It's lots of fun.
That's a lot of nights away from home. What does the wife think?
Well, we're still married, so maybe that's why I'm not around as much in the wintertime. And she's not much of a sports fan, so when she gets in my case, I start talking sports, and then she leaves me alone. I love her dearly.
Yeah. Like Jeff, so then, I look back my time on Global, 2001 to 2005-ish, whatever. I don't know what year it was exactly, but I always joke about it. There were some lean years.
I know what you're bringing up. I believe it was the 2003-04 season when the Blades had a grand total of 7 wins. Now, they had some overtime points in there, but yeah, that was a pretty lean year. The crowds weren't as big. And but you try to pump them up when you can, and
that's hard
it's
work.
A little difficult.
That's hard work.
Yep.
How did you do it?
It can be. Don't ask me. I don't even remember what kind of things we did back then because things have changed dramatically what we do in-house nowadays at SaskTel Center. We've got a much more engaged crowd than what we used to. You know, back in the early days of Saskatchewan Place, you know, not as many seats in the old building at that time, but I remember going to some games where the crowd was pretty rambunctious. You know what we used to do? You don't see so much anymore, but, you know, you'd have the guys chanting out at the goaltender from the opposing team. That's come back. The series just now against the Edmonton Oil Kings, there are people on his end chanting Simcoe, and we didn't prompt it. It just happened. I went, that is so good to see. So it's always a lot of fun.
I remember that. I think it was the mid '90s against the Kamloops Blazers, and they were just on them. We got PA. It's PA Saskatoon. Yeah. It's great. You see a lot of the Blades, obviously, but then you also see PA a lot this year. What do you make of this series? Because PA, I think they're 6-1-1 is the record for PA against the Blades.
Yeah, when you look back at the beginning of the season, the Blades, even though they lost the opening game up in PA, they did win their home opener against PA back here, I believe, 3-2 in overtime. And then they handed the Raiders, I think, their only overtime loss in the regular season in PA at the end of January. So the Blades have proved, they can compete with this team. So if they have that mindset, they might be able to steal a few games. Who knows?
Is there a Blades PA series that you go back to and say, well, that was a gooder? Because when I look at it, none of them have gone 7 games.
No, it's there's been like some 4-2s, 4-0 sweeps and stuff like that. I remember back in the old barn, and Barney, you probably were at the old arena much more than what I ever was. But I remember back in the mid 80s, there were some good tilts back in the guys when. That's when Dave Manson and Curtis Hunt were playing for the Raiders. And we had Kelly Chase, who was just honored here for the Blades. So some really good tilts back in the old barn. And then, like you said, in the 90s, looking back, I would have to say the one that stands out to me is more recent, just because of the storyline with it. 2024, round 1, when the Blades took out and we were stacked that year with Fraser Minton, Igor Sidorov, Tanner Mollendijk. But I have to say, our assistant general manager, Steve Hildebrandt, his son, Max, the goaltender for the Raiders, and I know Steve was probably just not sleeping much because he's going, geez, I want our team to win, but I want my son to do well. It's like, I can't imagine. But the most touching thing was after that series was over was Max and his dad embracing, and I thought, what a great moment.
Are the crowds better when it's a PA Saskatoon?
Yeah, absolutely. There's something more to it, and I'll give credit where credit is due. Prince Albert always brings a number of people down. I've seen they've advertised buses that come down for games 3 and 4. And I hate to say this, but boy, there's times when there's a good PA Raider crowd there. The Raiders score, and it almost sounds like a home game because they are so vocal. Yeah. But we tried our best to drown them out. You know, there's times during the game where all of a sudden you start hearing a Go Raiders chant going. So we've got video that with the drum beating and chanting Go Blades Go, and then our crowd and the kids, they drown them out. So that's what we do.
What is it after a goal? Is it Our House or something?
Yeah, that's correct. Something we started just a couple of years ago. And if I may go back on this story a little bit, for over the years, I've said to people over the years, man, you know, we need something. You know, where's it, Spokane? They've got that goal song and everybody claps along. And I said, we need something. And but it never, ever happened. And so finally this year I brought it up again. And one of the guys at the Blades staff, Tyler, comes up to me and says, well, maybe after a goal call, you want to go, woo. And I said, nah, people do that. You know, that's already happening. We need something of our own to do. He says, well, let me get back to you. So the pregame video at that time, and the Blades players still do this, they had where the players are in their dressing room, and they are doing this, whose house, our house. So they come back to me and they said, what if you were to yell whose house after a goal and maybe the crowd will yell our house? And so I went and I said, well, let me think about that. I went up to Les Lazaruk, as I do before every game, because I go over the names with him and have to tell a few jokes, which I can't share. That's tradition with us. Booyah, yeah. And that's a story in itself. And so I bring up this idea to Les, and even he was a little skeptical. He says, yeah, I don't know. I guess you can try it. So it was one of the last regular season games, coincidentally, against Moose Jaw 2 years ago. I got our terrific DJ Cush, and I said, you got to help me explain this. So this is pre-game, and there's already people in the stands. So I went on the microphone and said, hey, we want this in time for the playoffs, fans. This is what we want to do. And we coached them. Said, this is how it's going to work. So we did a couple whose house, they did our house, and it just took off. And I remember people coming up to me that I've never met before, just saying, we love how you do that. The kids love it. They look forward to it. Keep it up. And I started thinking, well, how long is this going to last? But we're still doing it. Poke Check comes out after a victory with our house flag, and we still do it. And I'll tell you, that year that we went to the final against Moose Jaw, and you've got about 13,000 plus at SaskTel Center, all yelling "Our house" back at you. It's overwhelming. It's a lot of fun. Before you go on, Barney, you're rocking the lid. I got to join you, man. I'm having 732 consecutive bad hair days. I better put the lid on and join you here.
There you go. Nice. I saw De Silva with it. I was going to text him and be like, "Hey," but they sent me this one last year. Absolutely love it, man. This has been a lot of fun. So excited. I'm going to try and get up. Going to try and come up to a game next week in Saskatoon. I would really like to go to the Hauser. I'm not going to lie. It's been years since I've been to a playoff game there, but maybe mosey on up. They changed the fries, though. The old Saskatchewan Place fries were the best. But yeah, I haven't been to a game at Sask Place. But if I do, I'm going to be knocking and coming to shake your hand.
Please do. I think the last time I saw you was at a Blades game quite a few years ago.
Right on. All right. Have a fun series, Jeff. Thanks for doing this.
Hey, my pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Right on. There he is, Saskatoon Blades, PA voice. If you've been to a game there, he does a good job, good pipes. Memorial Cups, World Juniors, Jeff Hayes joining us here on the Sports Cage. We are streaming through our YouTube channel. If you want to watch along, it's sportscage.com.
620 CKRM on location.
And a good afternoon. Coming back to the cage real quick. Our final opportunity to remind you about the Loads of Cash lottery here for the Humboldt Broncos. And boy, oh boy, we just had a good run here. Want to thank all the organizers. Want to thank everybody involved for, just putting on another fantastic lottery. A lot of history to this. We need your involvement. We would love to get you involved. Great odds. The deadline is 7 o'clock tonight, so you got just over a couple of hours, 2 hours and 8 minutes to get in before the deadline, and a chance at $100,000. Your investment is going to go a long way for the Humboldt Broncos organization. And thanks to all the sponsors. Again, thanks to the organizers and everybody involved. And a special thank you to all of our valued 620 CKRM listeners that have bought tickets over the years. We appreciate your support over the years, and we appreciate your support this year. The draw is coming up tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Somebody's going to walk away with $100,000, and then we've got a ton of other cash draws on the table. And don't forget that 50-50. Get your tickets, Visa, MasterCard, and pick them up sooner than later. In fact, again, do it now. 1-844-726-2026. 1-844-726-2026.
Get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
March Madness is here. NHL playoffs, big golf tournaments, and what are you doing? Watching humans chase balls while your stomach cries for mercy. A crust so golden it could win MVP, and toppings piled higher than the coach's stack of playbooks. Pepperoni flying like pucks on ice. Garlic taking a victory lap around your tongue. Western Pizza. Dine in or take out today.
And get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
Out here in southern Saskatchewan, the sun shows up for work every day. Might as well make it earn its keep. That's where Keln Solar comes in. These folks travel all over the province helping people put solar on their homes, farms, and cabins. They're local guys, Sask-born, Sask-raised, and not going anywhere. Except, to your place. Now's the time to start planning for spring and summer 2026 bookings. Give Keln Solar a call and they'll come show you your best options. Keln Solar. They move the power so you don't have to. KelnSolar.com.
You cut the grass, we'll cut the deal at Brent Agriculture. Get 0% financing for 84 months. Plus cash rebates and bonuses on select John Deere turf equipment. Save on compact utility tractors, riding lawnmowers, and utility vehicles. Get it from people who get it. Offer ends April 30th, 2026. Some restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
Since 1949, Nielsen Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nielsen Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality. In the Strasbourg, Last Mountain Lake area, call Dean at Solid Works Carpentry or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nielsen Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Extreme Hockey and Sport is the home of the Price Match Guarantee. 1425 McIntyre Street, the Cooperator Center, Moose Jaw Temple Garden Center, and online at extremehockey.net.
Maybe Fred Couples was onto something. That Rory McIlroy's never going to lose the Masters again. He's leading at -12. Sam Burns, Patrick Reed are second at -6. He went off on the back nine. Man, I don't know how the weekend's going to go down. Crazy. Western Hockey League playoffs. We're talking to the voice of the Prince Albert Raiders at the start of Hour 3. Raiders hosting the Blades, 7 p.m. You're lucky if you're going to the game tonight at the Art Hauser Center. The other series start tonight, too. Calgary's at Medicine Hat. Kelowna visits Everett, and Penticton, the new team, hosting PG. Blue Jays in action to 5:07 in Minnesota, taking on the Twins. The ticker is for Extreme Hockey and Sport because they have baseball, lacrosse, what you need. McIntyre Street, the Cooperator Center, and now in Moose Jaw under new management, Extreme Hockey and Sport. Hour 3 is coming up, like I said, voice of the Prince Albert Raiders. We're going to have Sprinkle of the Day. We'll have Clutch Performer and then Farhan Lalji again. It is the Sports Cage on this Friday for Nielsen Homes, streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com. You know that Extreme Hockey and Sport has everything you need for hockey, but spring is just around the corner. They're thinking baseball. Be all set for the ball diamond with team kits, bats, gloves, accessories, and training products all in stock. And let's not forget about lacrosse. Don't let spring throw you a curveball. Be ready with Extreme Hockey and Sport, locally owned, community focused, 1425 McIntyre Street at the Cooperator Center, now in Moose Jaw, and online at extremehockey.net.
Bill just called. He said the Thompsons are going already.
Really? Here I am. I'm still deciding if I should replace my openers.
Morning, gentlemen. Looking for Dave. I've got your new openers.
He brought Andrew. Time to listen.
Follow me to the farm. I'll show you how to install them so your field's ready before anyone else.
Don't wait to fall behind. Check your openers and get expert help from Andrew or your local Dutch dealer. Dutch Agriculture. Precision where it counts. Visit DutchOpeners.com. Dutch Agriculture, on farm for you.
Since 1949, Nielsen Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nielsen Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality. In the Strasbourg, Last Mountain Lake area, call Dean at Solid Works Carpentry or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nielsen Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
If you've got a Steelcraft garage door, you've got a door with parts manufactured and assembled right here in Canada. A door with better insulation and seal, plus a warranty you're probably never going to use. And if you don't have a Steelcraft garage door, you should get one. Don't just hang a door, install a Steelcraft. Turn curb appeal into curb envy.
Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door. We offer more.
Steel-craft.ca.
Country Corner, brought to you by Municipal Hail Insurance. Proudly serving farmers. MunicipalHail.ca.
Take in the First Nations University of Canada Spring Celebration Powwow, April 18th and 19th at the Brandt Centre. Over 800 dancers from all over North America, plus the Indigenous Trade Show and much more. Full details at fnunivpowwow.ca. Get ready for a memorable evening at the Regina Red Sox Sports Dinner and Auction, Saturday, April 25th at the Turvey Center. This year's special guest is former Toronto Blue Jay outfielder Kevin Pillar. Grab your tickets before they're all gone at reginaredsox.com. And you're invited to CKRM 100 Years in One Night, Saturday, July 18th at the Connexus Arts Center. Join us for a delicious meal as we celebrate 100 years and honor 9 icons that helped build the voice of Saskatchewan. Full details and tickets at connexusartscenter.ca.
For more information, visit 620ckrm.com. This is 620 CKRM Regina, the voice of Saskatchewan, a Harvard media station. Streaming everywhere at 620ckrm.com.
Good evening, I'm Tanner Wallace-Scribner from the SaskToday.ca newsroom with your 620 CKRM news. A debate over affordability is growing in Saskatchewan, with the NDP government offering different views on living costs. The NDP says budget data shows Regina families are paying more in some taxes and electricity than people in Vancouver. They are calling for changes, including stopped planned rate hikes and removing certain taxes. The government rejects those claims, saying they do not show the full picture. Officials say housing and total costs are far higher in Vancouver, and overall Saskatchewan remains more affordable for most families. Saskatchewan has the lowest unemployment rate in Canada, according to new data released by Statistics Canada. The province's jobless rate dropped to 5% in March, down from 5.6% the month before. Nationally, the economy added 14,000 jobs, while the overall unemployment rate held steady at 6.7%. Regina saw its rate fall to 6%, and Saskatoon dropped to 5.2%. Economists say the gains were expected after losses earlier this year. The data comes just ahead of the Bank of Canada's next interest rate decision later this month. A new strategic plan from the University of Regina outlines its vision for the next decade, focusing on research growth and student success. The plan highlights investment in key areas such as energy and health, along with more real-world learning opportunities for students. It also includes a stronger commitment to reconciliation and supporting Indigenous learners. University leaders say the plan will help guide decisions during uncertain times. However, challenges like declining international enrollment and financial pressures continue to affect post-secondary institutions, and the university says it must adapt carefully moving forward. Saskatchewan's first Crown Oil and Gas public offering of the year has earned almost $12.9 million. A total of 87 parcels were billed on across 4 regions, with Estevan and Lloydminster bringing in the highest amounts. The top bid came from Whispering Hills Resources for land west of Etonia. Another company submitted the highest lease bids in the Lloydminster area. The province says interest in land sales can shift based on oil prices, geology, and other market pressures. The 2026 SUMA Convention and Trade Show is set to bring in more than 1,000 municipal representatives to Regina this week. The 4-day event at the Real District will feature speakers from all levels of government, along with sessions focused on local issues and innovation. Delegates will also visit a large trade show showcasing services for municipalities. Organizers say the gathering helps build connections and share solutions. However, some municipal leaders continue to raise concerns about funding pressures and infrastructure demands, saying events like this are important for making those issues heard by provincial and federal decision makers. That's 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620ckrm.com.
Picture this. You sit down to watch TV and suddenly your screen freezes harder than a triple axle. If you're ready for a smoother routine, Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has a better idea. Max TV Stream. More streaming, less buffering. A performance that actually sticks the landing. And while you're at it, glide into fast SaskTel internet and cell phone packages that are balanced, reliable, and make sense for your household. Smart entertainment, smart connectivity. Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer in Fort Qu'Appelle. EchoSound.ca.
Feeling the high gas prices? We got you. At Crestview Chrysler, the all-new Jeep Cherokee Hybrid is here, and it's built to go further for less. With an awesome 6.3 liters per 100 kilometers and over 800 kilometers of range, you'll spend a lot more time driving and a lot less time filling up. Oh, and no plug-in needed, just fuel up and go. More room, more tech, more peace of mind with a much smaller fuel bill. The all-new Jeep Cherokee Hybrid at Crestview Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Weather brought to you by Next Gen Coatings. Spray coatings for truck bed liners, rocker panels, and more. Same company, new name. 1865 McCarra Street in Regina. And Kevin's Marine. Make the most out of summer with a boat or pontoon from Kevin's Marine in Fort Capel. kevinsmarine.com.
Quiet weather is expected as we head through the overnight hours tonight. With high pressure anchored over the Great Lakes, it's impacting our pattern with some dry conditions through tomorrow. We'll start to see a bit of cloud tomorrow, particularly later in the afternoon as a weak area of low pressure rolls out of southern Alberta. That system will bring some shower activity late Saturday night and just some isolated shower with some heavy cloud cover action on Sunday. Temperatures will be very mild tomorrow, but cooling back to near seasonable levels as we step through the weekend. And it looks like quiet weather into early next week. A few clouds tonight, lows near zero, light south to southeast winds at 15 to 30, partly sunny, warm 15 on Saturday. Southeast winds at 15 to 30 diminish. Mostly cloudy with a risk of late day showers Saturday night, 3 degrees, north to northwest winds at 10 to 20. Isolated showers, 7 degrees on Sunday. A mix of sun and cloud Monday at 8. We're back to 13 on Tuesday. With your 620 CKRM Precision Weather Forecast, I'm meteorologist Russ Merley.
This is the year to own the boat of your dreams. At Kevin's Marine, discover legendary Lund boats, built for a lifetime of serious fishing and family fun. Stretch out and relax, or enjoy the day with family on a brand new pontoon from Bentley or Crest, or make a splash in a 4-wind sport boat, all powered by trusted Mercury 4-stroke motors. Right now, get manufacturer rebates, dealer discounts, and low payment financing. Make decking easy with Shoremaster aluminum docks and lifts. Visit Kevin's Marine in Fort Capel or kevinsmarine.com.
For over 40 years, you've known them as Regina's trusted vehicle protection specialists. Now they're introducing the next gen of coatings. New name, new level of protection. They're now Next Gen Coatings. 3 generations of their family have served your family, and that hasn't changed. Same owners, same commitment, ready for the next gen of truck beds, rocker panels, trailers, bumpers, and running boards. The company hasn't changed, just the name. Next Gen Coatings. 1865 McCarra Street. The next gen starts now.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sports Cage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Nielsen Homes, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Weekend pretty much here. Friday it is. We got an hour left of the Sports Cage for Nelson Holmes. Thanks for making time. It's been a fun show. Off the rails with Eric Francis was exceptional. Jeff Hayes, Saskatoon Blades PA announcer, joining us. In hour 1, we heard from Farhan Lalji, which we're going to hear from again in this hour. It's been great. Artemis 2 is splashing down in an hour. If you didn't tune in on Tuesday, we covered space exploration talk. It was a lot of fun.
I think that was Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah. I was still on holidays Tuesday. But it's coming back. The rocket that went around the moon is back. Been to the moon. It's the big deal. Thanks to everyone who's texted in on that in the Prairie Land Rentals text line 936-6262. Let's get to Sprinkle of the Day right now, Colson, for Sports Select, where you can make your picks online, generate a QR code, go to your Lotto Spot retailer, scan. There you go. Every bet is 100% legal. You get a chance of winning cash in hand. I'm question for you.
Okay.
New Orleans Pelicans, Boston Celtics tonight. New Orleans on the Pro Line, 14.
Yeah.
Like there's no way they're winning.
Yeah.
You and I have a better chance of beating Boston.
No, but yeah.
Toronto Raptors, New York Knickerbocker. The Raptors are a heavy dog there. 4-15. You got to win by more than 5 in basketball. What do you think there, basketball guy?
You could take the Raptors. The Knicks are really good.
Can they keep it within 5 points, the Raptors, tonight in New York, in the Garden?
Ooh, they definitely could. I just need to get standings here just to see where they at. I wouldn't feel bad taking the Raptors there now.
Blue Jays Twins just started, so that's off the board now. And then tomorrow you can get up bright and early, go and bet on some action when it comes to the Masters. Sportselect.com. Sprinkle away. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly. Sportselect.com.
I am seeing at sportselect.com on the banner on the top. Apparently they're doing some website maintenance tonight, so get your picks in because it looks like
coffee. Co-op coffee in the morning.
9:30 our time, I think.
They're
going down for maintenance. So,
Sprinkle of the Day is brought to you by Sports Select.
The Sportscage Clutch Performer for Keln Solar. Thinking about saving money by using solar power? Keln Solar is a local family company that can put solar panels on your home, business, or farm. KelnSolar.com.
If you didn't see it last night, what a hockey game. I actually watched pretty much the whole game. Denver, Michigan, Frozen 4. Double overtime, 7-ish minutes left. Here's the audio.
John Anderson wants it. Kent Anderson is the hero for the Pioneers.
What a game. Kent Anderson's second goal. His dad is Eric Francis's tennis partner.
We learned today.
From Calgary. We learned that today on the program.
Also, Denver Pioneers. That's a good team name.
The Pioneers. So they'll take on Wisconsin, who beat North Dakota in the final tomorrow in Las Vegas, Nevada. Do you have a clutch performer?
Yeah, I had a few, but I'll keep this simple. Unclutch performer. Ichiro Suzuki?
Yep.
So they unveiled a statue for him today, the Mariners did.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're watching the stream, you'll see something went wrong with the unveiling. The bat broke on the statue. While they were pulling the tarp over, it bent the bat. But they made a good joke about it. Apparently they were giving away mini statues for the game. So they said, we've updated the statues. They're now going to have the broken bats. So.
Clutch performer.
Good job, Mariners.
Brought to you by Keln Solar, local company from Lumsden, Saskatchewan. If you're thinking solar, maybe saving some money, you can get them to come out and quote. Also, livestock operation. They got all that with the solar power as well. Keln Solar.
I was going to say, too, we don't have the time for it now, but the French call of Cole Caulfield's 50th goal, we love our foreign language. I know it's not foreign in Canada, but we love our foreign language calls on here on the Sports Cage.
Clutch performer for Keln Solar. Also, don't forget, Backyard Putting Green giveaway May 1st. We're giving away a putting green. Classic Landscape Company. Today's keyword to text in 936-6262 is green. Green to 936-6262. We'll come back with the ticker and voice of the Prince Albert Raiders, Nick Nielsen. You're listening to the Sports Cage on Friday for Nelson Holmes.
To celebrate CKRM's 100th anniversary, we're honoring the icons who helped shape this station into what it is today. Our next 620 CKRM icon inductee, Jeff Courier. Here's a behind the mic moment with Jeff Courier.
It's actually something I'd always wanted to do as a little boy, listening to Hockey Night in Canada, and those days it was probably Bill Hewitt or somebody like that doing Hockey Night in Canada, but I always thought that would be kind of fun. I never really took it very seriously until later on in my 20s. Some friends of mine were doing volunteer work at the radio station at Carleton University, which is a very good campus community radio station, which is still in operation. They've just gone through 50 years for that operation. And I started to dip my toe in that water and got more and more involved in it. And after doing that for a couple of years, realized that perhaps I could maybe make a living doing it. And I was really fortunate to get hired on as a junior guy at the Heritage station in my hometown of Ottawa, which was CFRA at the time. And I was working with local legends, guys who'd owned this city for decades. So I was mentored by some of the really big name people. It was a dominant radio station. We just owned the whole city. And so I gained an appreciation for working with good people.
To hear the full extended interview, visit our 100th year page at 620ckrm.com or sastoday.ca.
Spring's finally here.
Spring in Regina?
I'll believe it when I'm sitting on a patio.
Then let's get to Pump Jacks. Patio's open.
Open now?
Yep, Sunday brunch, daily food, and drink specials.
Hold on, brunch and a patio?
And weekly live entertainment.
All right, that's not spring. That's a lifestyle.
On the corner of Albert and 13th, Pump Jack's Cathedral Saloon and Steakhouse. Come early, stay late. The place where friends meet.
The auction calendar is stacked at Ritchie Brothers, and an exciting Regina auction is happening May 28th. Visit their website or Regina location to view a wide variety of used heavy equipment from top brand manufacturers. You won't want to miss this great opportunity. Head to rbauction.com/Regina to sign up and be ready for the auction. Again, that's rbauction.com/Regina.
Remember Bill in high school? $2,000 car, $7,000 stereo.
Now he's got a $700,000 drill, $2,000 worth of scrap iron for openers.
Morning. That drill may be fancy, but worn tips can lead to inconsistent depth and potentially lost yield. A fancy drill alone does not equal accurate seating.
Fancy drill, cheap openers. Don't be the new Bill. Talk to Andrew or your local Dutch dealer. Dutch Agriculture, precision where it counts. Visit DutchOpeners.com. Dutch Agriculture, on farm for you.
Since 1949, Nielsen Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nielsen Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality. In the Strasbourg, Last Mountain Lake area, call Dean at Solid Works Carpentry or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nielsen Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Steelcraft Doors Regina, made in Western Canada for Western Canadians.
Oh, mama, Rory McIlroy, 6 of the last 7 holes he birdied. He leads the Masters, -7 today, -12. Sam Burns, Patrick Reed, 6 shots back going into Saturday. Tonight, hockey. It starts. WHL playoffs up in Prince Albert. Game 1, Blades in town, 7 p.m. Calgary's at Medicine Hat. Kelowna's at Everett. Prince George at Penticton. Toronto Blue Jays, Minnesota Twins playing baseball right now. You want to go and check that out. It's a busy, busy time. It's for Steelcraft Doors in Regina, made in Western Canada for Western Canadians. Okay, we started talking about it a lot yesterday and then into today, and it goes down tonight in Prince Albert. Sharky and I tried to get there. We couldn't make it happen. Joining us again on the Sports Cage on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. Grab a wheel. Right now, if you're leaving to PA, you're going to be late to the game. Nick Nielsen is joining us, voice of the Prince Albert Raiders again. Oh, man, it's game day. It's the second round of playoffs. And it's against Saskatoon. You got to be excited.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can't ask for better. I mean, I'm a Sasky boy through and through. I've been involved in the Wilkie Outlaws versus Unity Lasers rivalry. I've been involved in the Estevan Bruins versus Weyburn Red Wings rivalry. PA Raiders, Saskatoon Blades. There's nothing better, and I cannot wait to experience it for my first time with this organization here in 9th time overall in history. It's going to be a lot of fun.
You're checking off a lot of those rivalries, because we talked rivalries yesterday on the show, and we did bring up some of the old senior hockey ones and the Kindersley Roast Hounds from way back. And yeah, Estevan, Weyburn, obviously Moose Jaw, Regina. People were messaging in, but I know like that PA Saskatoon is a thing of beauty, and it starts at the Hauser. So Cliffy Mapes texted me. This was about an hour ago. There was less than 40 standing room tickets. That's milk crate. That's milk crate country. And if people don't really know what we're talking about with the milk crates, is the standing room, and I forget what year it was, people started bringing milk crates and then just stood. So then you had 2 deep on the standing room of the Hauser. Have you experienced that?
So no, I haven't experienced it myself. From what I understand, the fire marshals regrettably put a little bit of a kibosh on it, even though I think they were going by the book, because I think one of the fire marshals was actually sitting in row 4 while that game was going on. But Yeah, like people don't understand when we call it milk crate night at the Hauser, like there is a full row of people standing, and then there is a full row behind that of people who brought milk crates from home, set them down, and are standing on top of them. Like there's literally, you get from what I understand, you got to this rink and you didn't move from your spot because you wouldn't get it back. Like that's how crazy passionate this building is. It's awesome.
It was like fortunate enough to go to 2 Super Bowls. The one thing is you do not want to drink because you want to remember it, but you also don't want to run to the bathroom because then the lines are long and you don't know what you're going to miss. It's the exact same thing when it comes to a packed Art Hauser Center.
I got a story there.
You don't want to. I think, and I'm looking it up here, Chris Olsen, it says, is the fire chief in PA. So I'm not sure if Chris is a big Raiders fan, if he'll turn the other way on a few milk crates. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know, but I got just going back to the Super Bowl thing quick. I may have made my dad miss Brian Adams at the 2003 Grey Cup because little Nick had to go to the bathroom, and I still haven't lived that down.
Yeah, Dad's a big Brian Adams fan. What's his favorite song?
Oh, yeah. Cuts Like a Knife, which we heard delightfully from the bathroom.
Awesome. I love it. Okay, this series, though, what was the record? 6-1-1. So you guys had the Blades number regular season, but they're the only team to shut you guys out?
Yeah, that's true. They shut us out on January 31st, and they did it in the Hauser, too. No, that's a big note. The Saskatoon Blades, there's been 3 shutouts in the series. Like I said, Saskatoon shut us out on the 31st. We went back into Saskatoon next night and won 3-1. But then there's also the fact that we've shut out Saskatoon in the last 2 games of the season. Blades have not scored against the Raiders, and I think it's 7.5 periods or something like that. So, you know, that there's both those factors in play. Like I no matter what, I think you can take the regular season stats and throw them out the window. This is Highway 11 rivalry. This is Raiders and Blades. You know, the first thing that came to mind when this series got announced, I was hearing Bon Scott and AC/DC yelling, "If you want blood, you've got it," because this is going to be a fun, nasty series.
You guys got a ton of snow earlier in the week. Is that all gone now? Is that starting to melt?
No. Well, it's melting. It's starting to melt.
Okay.
But we still have like 6-foot piles on either side of the road everywhere you go.
Yeah, so roads are okay though, but parking, they're going to be snow piled up there. People are going to be walking. Maybe you might even just park it at the Northern Lights. Take the long hoof to the Hauser. Hey, I want to ask you. Back in the day, and I remember some beauties. Like I'm talking old Saskatoon Arena. You weren't even born yet, and it was just fisticuffs, and it was good. How many any idea how many fights between these two teams this year in the regular season?
I counted it. It was 7. And the 2 big ones were the 2 captains, Justice Christensen, Tyler Parr. They put on an absolute banger of a fight in the very second last game of the season. Christensen,
that one went viral kind of on social media. That was a throwback.
Absolutely. I mean, and the pictures that come out of it too. If you haven't seen it already, look for Raiders photographer Mark Peterson on Facebook. He did this really, really cool video because he shot the whole thing with his camera with a GoPro on it as well. So he kind of has this video of all the snapshots as they happen on the video. It's really cool to see. But like, yeah, old time fight like you wouldn't believe. The images that come out of it are bloodied up. And you know what? There's going to be a lot of smack talked in this series. So before that gets underway, I'm going to give Tyler Parr a lot of credit. He earned my respect with that fight. He got knocked down to his knees 3 times. He got back up every time. And then the mutual show of respect afterwards between Christensen and Parr. I mean, what a tilt between those guys.
Yeah, and it's almost like one of those 4 Nations thing. Are we going to see some early on drop of the puck? Let's get it going like old school greasy style, or are they kind of will De Silva and and the PA coach maybe play it more above board, more 2026?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't expect it to pop off early. In fact, I almost wouldn't be surprised if game 1 was pretty tame in that regard. Just because I think both teams know what's at stake here. We're in the second round of playoffs now. For PA, we had to fight hard to get through Red Deer, even though it was a 5-game series. Scoring was tough. Getting through that series was tough. They played us hard. We played without Max Heisey that whole series because he got injured on the first shift of the game. Looks like he's ready to go in that, or at least he has been skating this week. I think he's going to be in the lineup here to start things off tonight. Saskatoon had to go through 3 overtimes in the last 2 games just to get through Edmonton, and that's a hard-fought series as well. So, I expect things to pop off at some point. I just don't think it'll be right away.
Okay, couple of easy ones here. Since you watch them all the time, you said it was 5 games against Red Deer. PA needs to do what to win this series?
There's 2 things I think that are the biggest at play, and number one has just been what the Raiders have been so good at all season, and that's just using their forecheck, and I'll even say abusing their forecheck. The Raiders' forecheck has been so dynamic this year, where it's not like your typical, you think, aggressive, going to run you through the boards, dump and chase sort of forecheck here. It's one that is almost sort of sneaky. It's one that kind of forces teams into making mistakes, and we're gonna they'll hem teams in for a long period of time until all of a sudden that opportunity happens, and then the Raiders have you stuck in the trap. That's been a real bread and butter for the Raiders, I think, all season long. And then the other factor is going to come from off the ice. It's going to come from the stands. The Art Hauser Center has been absolutely nuts through the first round. I've never experienced anything like this building. If you have any listeners up near Flin Flon, I don't know if it gets out that far, but the Whitney Forum is the closest thing I can say to what the Art Hauser Center is, and I'd still take the Art Hauser Center over it. It's just an absolute madhouse. I think there's 2 fan buses for both Tuesday and Wednesday games going to Saskatoon here, so Raider fans are going to be traveling in bunches as well. Like, the noise factor is going to be huge, and I think Raider fans are going to bring it both in their home rink and in Saskatoon.
Okay, on the other side of things, what do the Blades have to do to be successful in this series against the Raiders?
Oh, you're asking me a question where I have to go against my own team here. I don't know if I want to answer that now. I'm trying to think if
eyeball test. You've watched both of these teams a lot. Something always, go like Wilkie guy, when it comes to hockey, there's something, even though when you get into a series with another team, it's like, yeah, okay, we're good. We feel confident, but...
Well, you know what? I'll say this. I think Mikhail Orshulak in net for the Raiders does better in games where he gets a lot of shots on goal. I think there's been some time, like I think against Red Deer, there was a couple times, specifically in Game 4, where he didn't see any action for the longest time, and all of a sudden a couple goals got by him. I think we outshot Red Deer in the second period of Game 4, something like 22-2, and we lost that period 2-1. So, I think there is something to be said for Saskatoon, not just peppering shots on, not just putting everything they can on goal, but picking their spots, picking those good opportunities, getting those chances through. Maybe don't rush things in the offensive zone. I get it. The Raiders defense doesn't give you a lot, but if Saskatoon can be decisive about when they decide to put pucks on net, I think that could be better for them in the long run. There's my best answer.
Yeah, you skirted that one pretty good. You're getting really good at this, for sure. You talk about the defense and how PA doesn't give you a lot, and that's usually championship teams. That's the case. They don't give you a lot. Who's the couple guys maybe that aren't getting the notoriety, maybe even after the first round on that Raiders team that we haven't heard, we haven't been talking about all year?
Defensively, it's hard to say because everybody knows Justice Christensen is the leader of this team. Everybody knows who Daxton Rudolph is at this point here. He's going to be drafted probably top 10 in the upcoming NHL draft. Bennett Kelly is in that NHL Central scouting list, so if anybody's maybe a little bit underappreciated, it's him, I think, because he doesn't always get the recognition, stuff like that. Brock Cripps, everybody knows who he is. He's led the Raiders in the first round of playoffs, and he's only 16 years old, a defenseman as well. Mattress Man went and played at the World Juniors with Czechia, so a lot of people know who he is. Lyndon Barrett maybe could be that kind of underdog guy as well. We got him for next to nothing last year. Same day he was traded from Calgary to Seattle, we picked him up for, I think, a 6th round or a 7th round pick we got him for. And now he's been one of our most dynamic defensemen, led us this year in plus minus. And then our 7th defenseman, Hubert Clark, has done good too. Like when he's been in and he's had to step up for sometimes, he was one of the guys, he fought in the last game of the season against Saskatoon as well. And I think the first minute set the tone with Tristan Mitchell-McAlone, another good one. So I don't know. It's hard to say who's the underappreciated one on the Raiders defense because all of them have really had their moment in the limelight at different times this year.
Okay, who are you thinking? Give us a prediction on who pops off offensively in this series for the Raiders.
Oh, that's a good question. I think if Max Heise's healthy all series, this is his series. He's going to pop off. I think being on the sidelines all series against Red Deer, how frustrated he was when he went down the tunnel after his first shift there in game 1, took a hit up high and had to be helped off the ice. I think there's nobody in this series more motivated than Max Heise, and I can't wait to see what he does.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
30. What's the number here that Cliffy said will be in the barn officially? 32.99.
32.99. That's nuts.
And it's good. And it's gonna feel like 18.5.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're not going to be able to move in that rink. The Chess Leach Lounge afterwards for the post-game show, win or lose.
Let's go.
That's like. I can't
now
wait.
You're making me wish I would have booked a room at the Imperial 400 and come for the night, although they ripped that down.
I wish you could bottle this excitement, though, for this game. You'd be a millionaire. It's just so exciting.
What? Here's a weird one. What's PA coming out to for a song nowadays? What do they come out to?
Live It Up by Airborne.
Really? Oh, yeah.
And that was a pick from the captain, Christensen, too, from what I understand. I think he was the one who kind of signed off on it, maybe. But I know from knowing him, that's his kind of music. So,
okay, prediction: how many games are we going?
If I'm gonna give the Blades the proper respect they deserve, I'm gonna say Raiders in 6.
Finish it off. They finish it off in the Bridge City.
Yeah.
Finish it off. Okay. Well, if it goes 7. I'm going to have to figure out a way to get, maybe it'll be a go check the cabin excuse and pop into PA for that. Always a pleasure, Nick. It's going to be a great one. I can't wait to watch it tonight, actually. I'm like looking at the NHL over the next few. Got Masters will be done tonight. And it's just sit down and I'm going to watch the Blades and Raiders. Have a good call. Thanks for doing this, my man. We'll catch up maybe in a week or so.
Sounds good. Much appreciated. Thanks for having me.
There he is. Voice of the Prince Albert Raiders, Nick Nielsen, joining us here again on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. If you are currently driving north to Prince Albert for this tilt, or if you're in and around, I know we got listeners up there too, shoot us a text, 936-6262, maybe with your prediction. Is this going 6? I like that. I think that's a good number. 6. I'd love to see it go 7, though. Just the fan in me. It's so good. We're the home of local sports in Saskatchewan. The Sportscage streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com and always on the Stick 620 CKRM.
Freeze Tallman's all-weather at-home sale is on, and it's big. Save 15% on windows and doors April 13th through 24th. If you've been thinking about upgrading, replacing, or finally tackling that renovation project, this is your moment. Better comfort, better efficiency, better curb appeal, but only for a limited time. Don't wait. These savings disappear April 24th. Visit freezetallman.com and take advantage of the all-weather at-home sale. Freeze Tallman. Locally owned, family grown, rooted in our community for 70 years.